sir. Yeah, man, you're not afraid of the rebel. You wanna see it? We don't know it go already, yes, sir, you know. We don't play around here. What going on again?
Yes. Good evening to you and your listening audience and your crew and everybody. Big up on yourself. We're there again.
Yeah, man. Them know say you a
Let
week
me just
before you say worries, you know.
let me just say that may have some legal things we may have to attend to and time is against me. I may have to take the time out because I've been busy. But this issue is so important, so near and dear to me and hundreds of thousands of people in Jamaica and outside of Jamaica that I had to take. I was in the middle of doing something right now, legal stuff, and I had to leave and then say, "Boy, I have to join you, and we deal with this thing here because this is actually a follow up from the conversation we had this morning."
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
and again, if people want to join in and criticize, then that's fine, and challenge, but do so after you're fully acquainted with the issues. Don't just listen to what somebody said, because chances are you'll be wrong if you listen to what somebody said. Don't make nobody put any ideas in your head. Read things for yourself, ask your questions, and then we can have a civil discussion.
I just said that. Because we got nearly 200 people standing on already 1 minute, you know. 1 minute, I have like 100. I'm tell you, them
Wow.
man fast, yeah, man. Like 150 had gone already. People are waiting, so them just run on like, whoops, like crazy. I'm going to reach 2 minutes yet. Tell me something, though. As a immigration lawyer, I want to ask you something now about visa and the implication we can have on these parliamentarians if them have green card or the visa where them travel with and anything like that. Why you give me a breakdown and run down on that?
Okay. Now, based on the Constitution, you cannot be a U.S. citizen and if you're and have Jamaican citizenship and serve in the Parliament. You cannot. What you can do is that what the Constitution provides for. If you're a Commonwealth citizen, like if you're from Australia or Bangladesh or India, wherever, you can actually come to Jamaica, establish residency for a year, and actually run in elections and serve in Parliament and keep your citizenship because you're a
Yes,
Commonwealth
yes.
member,
Commonwealth,
right?
yes.
But that doesn't work. It doesn't work. And
The US.
even Canada is a
Canada,
member of the
yes.
Commonwealth. Yeah, you don't have to give up your Canadian citizenship to serve in the Jamaican Parliament, provided you satisfy the 1 year residency requirement. Now, with the US, it's different. And it's weird because most Jamaicans outside of Jamaica live in the US, right? But based on the Constitution, if you cannot have U.S. citizenship, a Jamaican citizenship, and serve in the Jamaican Parliament, you have to give it up. And I think there's a parliamentarian, I believe it was Mr. Vaz, who had to do that at one point because somebody raised it as an issue, saying, "How can you? It's in violation of the Constitution. How can you have U.S. citizenship, Jamaican citizenship, and serve in the Parliament? Can't work." So he had to
A
give it
couple
up.
more of them have to give it up to, yes.
Yeah. So if you have, so the key point is to remember, if you have a Commonwealth citizenship, any one of the 54 or 52 countries of the Commonwealth, if you're a citizen from one of those countries, then you can come to Jamaica and sit and establish residency for a year, and then you can run in election, and then you can join the parliament, and you don't have to give up your citizenship, except if right. So you have to be a Commonwealth person. Now with a green card, I don't know if they have too many green cards. I don't know if they have any, as a matter of fact, green card holders in the Parliament. But if you do have green card holders, they have a special case now because they're supposed to be living in the US and working in the US or going to school in the US and paying taxes in the US. So if they live outside, you can actually live outside, but what you have to do is you have to let immigration know that you're outside, because if you're outside for more than 6 months, you run into a problem. When you get back to, like we said, Kennedy, you come in as somebody who's coming in for the first time, and they can turn you back. Once they look and see that you've been out of the country for 6 months without any authorization, you're going to have a problem, or potentially you could have a problem. They probably let you in, but you could have a problem. But you're supposed to be living in the US, paying taxes in the US. So if you live somewhere else and you're not paying taxes, that's a problem. It's a problem. The third case is, and this is this I think this situation fits most of the parliamentarians in Jamaica. A lot of them are B1, B2 visas, which is B1 is for business and B2 is for tourism. B1 means you can come up and you can do trade shows and you can do this and you can do that. And you can't get a salary though if you come up on a B1, B2. You can get reimbursements for ordinary expenses, but that's about it. B2 is if you come up for tourism purposes. You can't work on that. You come up and as it said, tourism, you come visit your family, you go visit the sites and then you go back home. And generally speaking, them give you 6 months when you come from Jamaica. The problem is that you come and you spend 2 weeks, or some people spend like 3-4 months and then go back to Jamaica, and then within a month them come back. Suspicion, red flag. Because they start asking you, well, where you work, and them say, how you manage to get 4 months vacation, and you go back home and you come back and want another vacation.
And take an next 3 months. You can lose a visa or something.
Yeah.
So either you carry drugs, you drugs mule, or you do some work under the table. I do something. But you not work at Jamaica. You could not work and not do that.
Right. So
and then know Jamaica wages. So them know say you that get this, but you just leave your work. Who that get that? Or you do this.
Right.
Say I'll be 80%, yes.
So what them do, them interview you, and generally, at least a lot of my clients who end up in that position, them get visa revoked. Because what happens is that they usually find out that these folks them come up and them work, right? So if you have a visa and you sit in the parliament, a B1, B2, no, and I think I know where you're going with the question. I think you go with parliamentarians who, what could happen is that the U.S. Embassy, in its wisdom, could act on its own and say, you know what, we're going to revoke this visa because we don't like how this parliamentarian is acting, right? Or another way is that they have something called a poison pen letter, POISON -PEN letter. And what that is when somebody drop, as they say in America, drop a dime on you. Somebody them write to the embassy and said, this person is doing this, and that, revoke the visa. The visa gets revoked. Or you have a situation where you could even write to the State Department here, especially in the case of a parliamentarian, and you provide the evidence and say, look, this person is guilty of conduct unbecoming of somebody who should maintain this visa. And we're asking for you to revoke the visa. So in the case of a parliamentarian, for example, right, a parliamentarian who lies, steals, cheats, involved in corruption, that could actually, you don't even have to do it in Jamaica. You could, if you're in the diaspora, you could actually do it in the State Department down in Washington, D.C. And you send that poison pen letter in. And it's a huge problem. But what happened is it's embarrassing. It could be embarrassing. They'd go to the airport and then they'd hear, no, your visa no good, right? So, I mean, all of the parliamentarians who have a B1, B2, and they're involved with shenanigans, all I can say to them is just be mindful. But if you get into issues, you can always call me. I don't take sides. I represent. That's all I do. If you need an attorney, you just call me and we sort things out. So that's where we are with the three types of statuses in the parliament. Whether if you're a citizen of a country that's not a Commonwealth country, if you have a green card, and if you have a B1, B2 visa.
Oh. Like that. So what happens if a parliamentarian have one of those like when you're government minister and you get one of those visa, the travel and
the A visa.
That visa.
Yes.
You're not supposed to do no shopping or nothing on it. You just the business.
No, the A visa is a diplomatic visa, and you're supposed to use that to conduct government business. Like, for example, you come to the UN, or you come and meet with foreign officials, or like the other day when the Prime Minister came and met with, different people in Washington D.C. He traveled on his A visa. You cannot use the A visa to come to America and shop. That's in violation. That's not. But what some people do is, and you can't use it either to come and visit family members. What some people do, a lot of them do, is they use the A visa and in conjunction with official business, then them hook up with their family members and that's permissible. But if like for example, if you say, boy, I want to take a vacation, go visit Auntie May, you're not supposed to use the A visa because you're not coming on official government business. So you're supposed to use the B1, B2 visa. The B2 for tourism, because B1 you're not gonna come. B1 actually is for like small businessmen in Jamaica. Them come up and them go a trade show and them want to buy some products and things of that nature. That's B1. B2 is when you come and you visit your family members and you visit the sites and songs. And listen to the song. So that's where we are with that.
So you have some old. All right, let me just try. Cause people, our brain very different, Remember them politicians, they have some little pea brain. Watch it, them jacket and tie. We now we none. We good. We are get to youth. Remember we not go good school and them bright. Okay, you ready?
Yes, man.
Over 400 people are gone already and listen, over that. So them just run out like crazy. So tell me something now. It run them my mind for saying sometimes them politicians they run go up and say them at the business. Them just go check hard remarks. Then them can go shop now, do their business.
Yeah.
Them have no official business. Them have no official business with US government and thing, but them fly.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if they make a pit stop, if them stop by and check the ambassador, nobody not gonna really make an issue out of it because they make a stop. The issue is when them come and them don't meet anyone in an official capacity, then that's different. For example, a minister flies up and say, okay, and stop by to Washington, stop by the embassy, make a phone call or lunch or whatever with the ambassador. And then him say, okay, nice seeing you. And then spend the next 3-4 days visit family members and shopping. Nobody going to make an issue out of that because part of the trip was conducted on an official basis. But if him fly up and fly go New York and not meet anybody, or she, if she fly up and not meet anybody and then go out and start shopping and things like that and then go back, that could be a problem because the visa was not used for its intended purpose. And its intended purpose is to conduct official government business. So the A visa, you have to be very careful with that. And that's why you see them get the B1, B2 visa in addition to the A visa, because the B2 visa will allow you to travel, come up, meet with your family, visit the sites and sounds and do whatever you want to do as a tourist. Yeah.
And next thing again though, you were posing me more want to talk to you about though. The 99,000 USD. It puzzles me, brother. Yeah, man, it puzzles me. We have to call you back and take you off of what you do. Because the 99,000, why not 100,000?
Okay.
It must have some significant difference why them don't go 100,000 already.
Well,
but them did not try cover.
Well, I want your listening audience to pay particular attention to what I'm going to say about that $99,000, right? Just as much as they paid attention to the visa piece, the A visa,
yes,
the B1, B2, the legal permanent resident, the green card, just as much as they pay attention to that, I want them to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Fin partners in their documents, and we keep going back to Fin partners because you know why? We don't want people saying that we're guessing. Oh, I left it upstairs. We don't want people saying we're guessing or, it's hearsay. But Fin partners in their document, they told the US government, and by the way, because, I'm an open book and I've always done this. I tell people what I'm going to do. The hiding business and the smooching and a surprise business. I tell people that this is what I'm going to do, and then I do it. I just filed with the Department of Justice to get the whole thing from Fin partners. Because we're going to analyze all of, Fin stuff. Yes, we're going to analyze. And then we're going to come through and we're going to release that information to the public and make them understand that this is not hearsay. And this is what the US government is giving us, right? Fin partners in their document, they said that they received, or the agreement called for them to receive $33,000 in April, $33,000 in May, $33,000 in June.
Yes.
That's 99. Now, people, ask yourself the question. I'm not making any allegations here now. I'm just trying to engage people in a discussion and for them to think. Why not 100,000? Why 99,000? I've been puzzled by this, and I made mention of it recently, but I didn't delve into it. But I'm going to delve into it now. You see, if you go to the bank in the United States and you deposit $10,000 in cash, immediately it generates something called, and my financial friends out there, you know, they can verify this. It generates something called a SAR, right? It's like a suspicious activity report that this person, it's a threshold. If you go over 10,000, the government must know. You know? So the bank have to notify the government. So what happened is that, especially during the drug heydays, a lot of people used to put 9,000, 9,900, 8,000, 8,900, and it didn't generate a suspicious activity report. So people didn't have to pay attention. The government didn't pay attention to you. But what happened was the government started paying attention and realized that a lot of people put 9,900, 9,800 every week.
That raise something.
Every week. So what they did, they come up with something, a statute, and them call it not stacking. It just slipped me. The term just slipped me. But what the government essentially said is that, look, we know what you're doing, right? And it's a crime, because if you start putting 9,900 every week, we know you're trying to avoid the reporting requirement.
Yes.
And so people get charged for that. People get, in fact, I've seen cases where the FBI, they charge somebody for a whole bunch of other charges. And this was one of the charges that they put on it, right? Maybe the name just slipped me.
I call one of my bank and I look my number.
Yeah, the name just slipped me. I think it started with an S. And I remember that just as I'm coming down to jump on the line now with you, Remember, they're not stacking. Hold on.
No, me soon call him, man. You can't go and talk.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So what happened is that the government started looking at that and started locking up people for that, right?
Yes,
man. And so whenever you see in a financial transaction, whenever you see like 999, and I've seen it in real estate transactions too.
Yes.
9,999, 900,099. Whenever you see that, it means it not necessarily mean it, but you should think about that somebody's trying to avoid a reporting requirement. Somebody's trying to avoid it, which means that if them go one step over and put 10,000 or 100,000 or a million or something like that, it's going to generate some kind of reporting requirement. You should think about it. It doesn't mean it in every case, but you should think about it. Now, with this particular case, we see 99, and that's a strange number for Fin partners to say, we're going to represent you and we want $99,000. It's been bugging me, right? But then I looked at and this is just a theory, I looked at the Integrity Commission Act of 2017. And here's what it says. Well, before I tell you what it says, keep in suspense a bit. If you remember, Jamaica agreed with CARICOM that there was a consensus in CARICOM that they would support Baroness Scotland from Dominica, right? And about a month later, or thereabouts, in April, Jamaica broke away from the agreement and from the consensus and said, no, we're putting up our own candidate. No, there wasn't much time between the announcement of the candidacy and the election. The election was in June 24th or 25th of last year. So when they got that, when they decided to break away in April, they only have summer April, May, and they have all of May, and they have until almost the end of June. So they were just rushing willy-nilly to get things done. And in that rush, I think they made some mistakes.
Yes.
I think they made some mistakes because in that rush, they make some mistakes. And in the rush and in the disappointment, both of them, in the rush and in the disappointment, I think some errors were made. For example, they didn't file. We know that they didn't file with the finance ministry.
Yes.
But here's a problem with the finance ministry now. The finance ministry, structuring. That's what it's called. Structuring.
Thank you very much. Hear this. Hold on, don't move. Hold on there. My bank brethren, I manage one of the manager from New York. This. Go on, brother.
Yeah, Medea. So yeah, the report that for the $10,000 is called a currency transaction report. So
All right.
that's just a standard report that we report. If, however, you try to do what you're talking about, like you try to avoid the report,
Structuring.
it's in a lot of ways. Some people try to put it in different branches, or they put it over time. That's called structuring. And that's when you do the suspicious transaction report. So the suspicious transaction report can be for structuring, but it can also be if like somebody come in and say, for example, you're a taxi driver and you come up with $100,000 and it don't make sense. Then we also have to report that. It's the same thing that happened to Elliot. It's when they try to use the wire transfer to pay for the prostitute. That's why you get in trouble. So CTR is just a standard 10,000. So anybody do 10,000 in a cash, you have to report that. It's not suspicious. You just have to inform them. The suspicious part comes when you try to structure or if you're doing something that's completely out of character with the know your customer information you give.
Okay, so tell me something. All right, like how me have my business account because we can't move more than that in my business account. You know, bother me. But I'm more like.
It's not cash, you know. It's not money. It's cash.
Cash.
It only applies to cash.
Okay,
right.
It only applies to cash.
Apply to cash. It's not how much money you move. So if you come with $1 million check or so on, it doesn't matter. It's cash transaction. It's from the time when people that the drugs, and they have something similar with money orders. But we won't go into the detail because they used to use money orders in the same way, so they have some kind of thing with them do with that. But yeah, any cash transaction, you have to report it. A currency transaction report. I forgot the code number for it. It has a code number. And then if you suspect something like the structuring, then that's when you do the suspicious activity report.
So your bank where all right, as a manager now, so it either pass through you, them have to report it to who?
It's a standard thing enough for that the way we send it. It's just a form that you still and send it. Every transaction you have to send it to them. So it's not like they're gonna look at every one of them. It's just a standard. All $10,000 cash transaction has to be reported. So it's not like a problem if you do it. It's just that it must make sense. You understand? It must make sense. For example, if you have a business and say you have a gas station and you come here, you have to send a report, but it makes sense because you're a gas station person.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing suspicious about it.
Oh.
Like, for example, if you say you're going to Jamaica, go bury your daughter, go build a house, and you come and you take $10,000 cash, you get to report it. It doesn't mean that you're getting any problem for it. It's just that we have to report every single one of them.
Oh, every one of them will have to report it. But we don't have to ask the person if them draw. Okay.
No, we need some information to report it. So we're like a part of what kind of work you do, the social security number, your tax ID number if you don't have one. But it's just some basic question. But there's nothing suspicious about that in and of itself. It's just that it has to be reported. It's just that there must be a record of it. If suspicion comes, go on.
So if
you try to avoid it.
You try to avoid it. So like what Ratia said, like what we have said. So if we bank, like we come and say $9,999. That way some flag.
So then I say why that amount? Or let me tell you what some people will do. Because I know if they come to a teller, then you have to do it. So what some of them will do is come to one branch and deposit like $5,000 and then go to a next branch, the next nearest branch and deposit $6,000. The system still have to pick up that. And then I'll send back to one of the branch then and say you have to fill out the report, you have to pull the information and so
so okay, this
and if you see that you're trying to avoid it, that's when the suspicious activity report comes.
Oh, so if him come, this is how them for know now, you know. But tell you say, I know for we there, you know. On the ear, a bank manager to man in New York. So we have everybody around we, you know. Nobody watch we. Me tell you say we equipped. All right, so if a man bank 5,000 at this branch and him go down the road, I drive go 10 miles to the same branch and then bank 5 more thousand, 8,000, it will pick it up same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not going to pick it up like immediately, but the next day they're going to send out to report.
So then pick it and put it together. Oh,
right. So it's still pick up. Branches, right, so we have a few branches, I'm going to say, yeah, call this guy, get the information, fill out the report.
So I bet I'm just banking on one branch. And then for banking
out. The problem is not with the money, right? The problem is not depositing the money. If they just track that, you get into real problem if you try to avoid it. Yeah. So if they see like that's what was mentioned, structuring. If they see that you're structuring, so like you put in 5,000 and then the next day you can put 5,000 and then the other day you can put in money, that's what gets into the problem. Not dealing with money. Because they expect you to use money. It's just that it must fit your profile that you give the bank. It must make
It
sense.
have a fit the profile where you get the bank. What teach them something
That's what they call
again?
know your customer, KYC.
What the name?
KYC, know your customer.
Know your customer.
You have to understand who the customer be and make sure that it makes sense for them.
Oh, all right, lovely.
Like as I said, if you have a gas station and you come, they will know. Or you have a restaurant where sell food and in a cash neighborhood, they will expect you to come with cash. You understand? But if you can't understand what you're doing and you come to us with $10,000 cash and report, now that is suspicious in addition to just the regular report.
Oh, so man, I chop a little girl. So this is what you can understand. But when I stray from this, because we are right over here, so this is what we can understand with Jamaica. Why they not give the little people them bank accounts? You ever understand that? You ever go through that yet? Because they're good for them a bank account then.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about the approach, because I have some things I want to talk to you about the approach. But because this is going now, that's why I never call you back. But now listen to the live on the air.
All right, no problem. Me and you talk. We're going to talk about. Me and you talk about that. Yeah, man. We're going to talk. All right, I'm going to talk to you about that, man. All right, sir. Cool. Let's up later. Yeah, man. Yes, Matthew.
Yeah. Like him said, the one transaction by itself, it won't raise any suspicion. But when you start doing a lot of transactions, then it becomes, because I've been called by banks already, because I was sending money, but I was sending money over $10,000 on several occasions, and then them call and then want to find out why is it that I'm sending this money. And even the FBI, I was employed by them at the time, them called me into and said, where you get this money from? Why are you sending so much money? And I had to explain, and to their satisfaction, and everything was fine. So normally when you say, I was hoping you'd ask him the question about the 9. Whenever you say a 9, what does that mean? Yeah, when you say a 9 in a financial transaction, is it because somebody want to avoid a reporting requirement? Not always, but sometimes. But here's what happened in this case now. Remember, they're rushing now, mad speed, warp speed. They're trying to get the minister ready for the campaign because they realized that they weren't going to get the full support of CARICOM. And in fact, it turned out that 10 countries in CARICOM did not support her. 5 countries did, but 10 didn't, right?
5 including themselves.
Yeah, did. So
4 and 1, 5, yes.
So what happened is that we see the 99,000. I've been puzzled. Why 99? Why not 100? No, with the Ministry of Finance, with their filing, you file if the gift is more than 2 million Jamaican dollars, right? You're required to file. But when I was looking at the consequences of not filing, I couldn't see anything. Like they said, well, if you don't file, then you're going to prison or you have to pay a fine. Didn't see anything like that. And maybe that's why people really weren't paying attention to the Ministry of Finance, the required filing, because there's no consequence. So you just don't file, and them tell you, hey, you need to file, then you file. However, with the Integrity Commission, it's different. The Integrity Commission says that, and I'll read it. It says, subject to subsection 4, right? And subsection 4 says that if you get a gift from your relative, then that not count, right? So if you get a gift from your relative, that doesn't count. So it's a subject to subsection 4. Any parliamentarian or public official who receives, oh, by the way, sorry, this is section 40, because I have to give citations so people can follow along or go back and check to make sure I'm not lie. Subsection 40 of the Integrity Commission Act of 2017, and section 40 of the Integrity Commission Act, subsection 3. Again, section 40, subsection 3. It says, subject to subsection 4, any parliamentarian or public official who receives a gift which exceeds in value the amount of $100,000 or such other amounts prescribed by the minister by order shall declare the gift in the item specified as item 14 in the 3rd schedule. So, if you get a gift as a parliamentarian and it's $100,000, you have to report it. If you get a gift as a parliamentarian and it's $99,000, you don't have to report it. No, the theory I have is that in their rush to get our Reddit, people are talking, corporate Jamaica are talking, and they must say, well, yeah, we want to support our. A man say, oh, you know, if it's under 100,000, then you don't have to report it. I think them get the currency mixed up. And that's why we end up with $99,000 to Finn. Because
and then Finn itself, I think in the state it have some kind of more you check it out.
Oh, for Finn, if they can't to banking virgin, if you mean if Finn accepted more than 100,000,
yeah, 100,000,
yeah, 100
yes,
or more,
what have you?
what kind of
But them do
reporting that would
something,
trigger?
them know what them do.
Well, yeah, him can do that piece, but what happened?
Yeah, man, yeah, man.
What happened is that I think them get the $100,000 piece mixed up, the 99,000 and the $100,000 piece mixed up. And I see it all the time with currency where me attack, in my mind, me talk about US currency, in your mind, you talk about Jamaican currency, and it's only later down the road me I say, no, me that talk about, you know, if we just me this is $100,000 or it's $1 million, you know, you might not dip on the same page with me. Likewise, me dip on the same page until further down the road we say, no, US me attack or Jamaican me attack. Because it's just so strange that the statute, the law says if you get $99,000, you don't have to report it. And this is going to be telling, because if we are able to determine through information received from the Integrity Commission that the minister didn't file, then it would seem to suggest that this is the reason why she didn't file, because somebody must have told her that if you pay $99,000, then you don't have to file. Again, I can't prove this. This is just a theory. I'm not maligning her. I'm just saying we're looking into it and we're filing necessary paperwork and we're waiting for the US government to come back and give us the documentation, because now we're asking for the full documentation. And in fact, I think I might even ask for all of Finn Partners' contracts with the Jamaican government to examine all of them to make sure that the taxpayers weren't fleeced. We may have to end up doing all of that.
We need to do that, yes.
Yeah, we may end up having to do all of that. So this thing is going to mushroom. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're not going to stop, because we know for a fact that the tourism board, they have contracts with Finn. We know that Finn has worked already for the tourism board, right? So we want to look at all of those things, because at the end of the day, it's about taxpayers' money. Government does not have funds of its own. It's money that they collect from taxpayers or money they receive from donor agencies or donor countries.
Or they borrow money or something. But
donor, or from IMF, IDB, what are loans. But government by itself not no money, right? So what happens is, and they can't use donor funds to do some of the things that we're talking about. They can't use donor funds to pay for a minister to travel. They can't. That's not the purpose of it. Similarly with loans, have to be, because when you apply for a loan, you apply for a loan for a particular purpose.
That is it.
Yeah. So you can repurpose or realign the money and then say, okay, we're going to apply for it to build roads, but then we're going to take it and say we're going to pay for airline tickets for ministers. You know, and it has, unless you're going to say we'll pay for airline tickets for ministers for them to go and source asphalt or something like that. Unless you're going to be creative and do that, then it doesn't make any sense. So most of the money that you see government spending on these types of occurrences, these types of events, it's taxpayers' money. So we need to get back to basics and then do a forensic analysis to ensure that the government is spending the people's funds in the way that those funds should be spent.
True. That good. It's great.
So all I'm saying to people is that just think about that. 99,000 to Finn, and if you spend 99, and if you have 99,000, then you don't have to tell the Integrity Commission. So you escape detection. Because if you get that money and you're going into the Integrity Commission, they're not going to ask questions. Integrity Commission will ask questions.
Well, you know what? In Jamaica, for telling the truth, in Jamaica, I'm more like, yes, it's when them doing the transaction overseas. And that's how we hold them in, because in Jamaica, them have the law by themselves. They make sure put them stack the place up with them own police, them own thieves, them own when them name DPP office, everybody them just stack up. So nobody move off and no one no cure them wrong. For instance, when the guy break the COVID rule, he just say shower labor right, and that's it. And then when you ask the great Sir Googs, he say, be looking at it, nothing else better. Be looking at it. And then them come up and say them can't get the camera, the film from the hotel. No, it was a phone camera thing and everybody have it. The TV have it, everybody have it. And then them go around, then them let him go. Him go say, oh, I'm sorry, this and that, and then boom, bam. And then you see him a minister again. So nobody not face the consequences, but nothing at all. You see, Royal Reid, 4 years in, I know him foot not touch prison yet, you know. You know much get to youth, our friend them youth and other thing going to prison.
I'm going to ask you
that.
I'm going to ask you a favor.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a favor. I don't know how many people watched the program this morning, but it was a fantastic program. You should go back and look at it this morning. Beautiful program. For those of you who did not watch the program, I'm going to ask Mr. Lonesome to play that video from the parliamentarian or the official from Singapore, the Singaporean official. I just want you to play it, and then I'm going to make a comment.
You want me to, oh, the Singapore one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right away. Right away. Hey, run your finger them quick, you know. we tell them I'm ratty. Run your finger them quick. All right, so I want it from Singapore, right?
Yes. With the blue, it have a sky blue background.
No, man, him up.
Long time. That if you want to, in a sense, eliminate corruption in a society, and we all want to eliminate corruption in a society, the most effective way to do it is to make sure you don't punish people at the bottom, you punish people at the top. I'll tell you one story. In the 1960s, when Singapore was a very poor country then, our per capita income was 500. A government minister was invited by a businessman to go on holiday. Just on holiday. No bride. He and his family went on holiday with a businessman. He came back, he was arrested, charged, went to jail. After that, no more corruption. Because it's a very powerful signal that is sent when you go after someone at the top. So Singapore's experience, and it's actually quite remarkable how you have almost zero corruption in Singapore, is because we decided that the example must come from the top.
Okay. All right. Now here's a comment. That's a very powerful signal that he just mentioned. And for those of you, first of all, we keep every time we come on the air, we have a little bit more, we have another piece of information.
Yes.
And we're not going to hold on to it and then forget it, because we think we need to reinforce this in our people's minds, that if you want to do something about corruption, as he said, and I kind of disagree with him a little bit when he said, don't prosecute the people at the bottom. You prosecute everyone, but you pay special attention to the ones up top.
But
special attention.
Yeah, we said Jamaica, because remember them prosecute the one in my bottom already, you know.
Right.
So we'll need them to go, or Jamaica go for them up there. So, because nobody pass class road. No, after 3 days, so when you go to the 11, not going away, you know. Everybody is going to prison. Yes.
And remember, Jamaica always, in general, when we talk about systems, people always refer to the Singaporean system and say, oh, you know, this leader of Singapore, he came to Jamaica when Singapore was a poor country, and he adopted the Jamaican model, and he went back and he built on it, and look at where Singapore. I've been to Singapore, and I can tell you it's a well-run country. Very few issues there, right? When you talk about order and discipline, I think that's a place where if you chew gum and spit on you're not, with chewing gum not even allowed. If you chew gum and spit on the thing, you get lashes for that. You get jail time and lashes, right?
Okay.
Very disciplined people. And why is it then that we keep saying, well, Singapore came and adopted the Jamaican model and look where, but then we don't look to Singapore as an example and say, look at what Singapore has done with our model.
Yes.
You know, let's use the Singapore model in Jamaica, at least when it comes to corruption. At least when it comes to corruption. And here it is now that I'm asking, and some people say, you know, why? Some people say, what? Some people question my motives. You believe that? They question my motives for bringing this to the public.
That, let me tell you, them are play politics. So it's not about our brain, because this not the motive. Them want we thought that, and then we like
get distracted.
Answer them. So we're not going to do that. The next thing with Singapore, it don't have no natural resources. Go check it. But yes,
don't have a port. Don't have a port.
You understand? So for them do them import raw material. For Jamaica have natural resources. And look how we know. We have bauxite, we have other things, you know. Singapore don't have it. Them import, but yes, still, them import this and them build what them have build and sell that and build up themselves.
Look, Singapore have a strategic location, but it's better than Jamaica's
No, we have a strategic
location.
location too.
Because anything I go south in the Caribbean, it have to pass by Jamaica. Anything I go north from South America, Central America, and I come up on a path and I go, especially if it go to southern United States, it go pass nearby Jamaica.
Yeah,
right?
quicker place.
So the people who, and I'm never said, we need to reinforce this. We cannot make this issue die a journalistic death. And as long as there's breath in my body, it will not die a journalistic death. Because you know why? We have a situation where we can actually prove that a government official did not do what was required by law and by regulation. And if she did not, and we're waiting for the answer to come back, we don't believe she filed with the Integrity Commission. We don't believe, but we can't prove it. So we're waiting for them to come back. It's an allegation. That one is an allegation that she didn't file. But you know what? It's very simple, She either filed, or she didn't file. It's that simple. Better yet, no, she did file. The question is whether or not she declared the gift in her statutory declaration.
Yes.
That's the gift we're talking about. And I said this morning, and I say it again, all the Integrity Commission has to do is pull her file. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I put up my two hands, but I two, five. Not 10 minutes. Everyone said 10 minutes.
5 and 5. So
it's 5 minutes.
The time because they must slow and they miss slow.
Yeah, just pull our file and then go to the section called gifts and just look to see if it's in $99,000 there. Then you go to another section called other income. Just go to that section and see if it's in $99,000 there. And if you don't see it, then guess what? You have a very good case. I'm talking about the Integrity Commission. You have a very good case to prosecute her. Now, here's what it calls for. It says in order to prosecute her, all you have to do is show that she knowingly did it, right? She knowingly did it. And how do we know she knowingly did it? Very, very simple. The statute says a person who knowingly, this doesn't have to do with intent, that she intended to hide or whatever, but just know that you're supposed to declare it and you didn't declare it. It don't matter about your intent that you're trying to hide or what. No, very simple. Knowingly makes a false statement in a statutory declaration, commits an offense, and is liable on summary conviction in a parish court to a fine not exceeding $2 million or to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 2 years. So you have a fine of up to $2 million, or you have confinement up to 2 years. And so what we're saying to the Integrity Commission is once you pull that file, 5 minutes, just pull the file and go to gifts and go to other income. And if you don't see $99,000 there, then you have a case. But now you have to prove that she knowingly did it. Very simple. We played some videotapes this morning. And the videotapes this morning, those videotapes clearly show that the minister tried to hide the fact that she was getting the benefit of the gifts from Fin Partners, because in June, because in June she said on TVJ that her campaign was funded by the Jamaican government. The government. But she didn't tell them that Fin Partners that received funding from private sources. Fin Partners was also providing benefits to her. Her campaign was also funded by private contributions. She didn't mention that. And we can show, unless Fin is lying, we can show that she started receiving benefits in April and she received benefits in May and June, early June. In fact, Fin Partners, based on their records, they were fully paid before this, because they got their, according to Fin Partners, they got $33,000 late April, $33,000 1st of May, and $33,000 1st of June. She did this interview was around the 6th, or 7th of June. So Fin Partners was paid in full, right? And so she was receiving these benefits, and she wasn't transparent enough to tell the Jamaican people and the world by extension.
And next thing, at that time, she said she going to, after the campaign, because she busy, she going to declare, because she transparent. But let me say something to you, Ratty. If you all right, say you are the Foreign Affairs Minister, right? And you hear these things come up against you, Ratty, right? What you do? If you clear and pay everything and what have you, you don't call a press meeting same time for just kill the argument, and you don't release all documents same time. You no go get a lawyer and for go fight vigorously in a court for show the document. You just show it in a press briefing and say laugh and say, see there, me pay it, me clear with people. You know, like how me like the people, you know, when them say something, just come show them something and say, wanna see some mud power on the face, yeah. Wanna just say, wanna get funny thing from. Why she never do that? If she declare all these things and do everything right, you know, think she'd have called a press brief in long time and then we have to apologize and say, well, but this shouldn't do that long time, Ratty. She'd have do it from day one. Turn up your mic. Turn up the mic.
Let me just explain to the audience that last week Wednesday, right, the case was filed and the minister came out on Instagram and said that the case, to the best of her knowledge, the case wasn't filed and she wasn't served, and that the allegations that she saw on social media, the allegations were baseless, untrue, and defamatory. Right now, the lawsuit was filed last week Wednesday. She just didn't know about it. Right, so she was half correct. Half of the things she said was correct. The fact that she wasn't served, but she couldn't have been served then, because what happened, you needed a judge to seal the thing, put the seal on it, and send it to her. So we had to wait on that. The judge sealed it, put the seal on Friday. On Monday, the documents, the complaint and the affidavit and the whole package was served. And I'm being told that there was a little bit of a resistance at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in terms of receiving the filing. There was a little bit of resistance, but eventually it was served. So she had Monday that she could have called this press conference, because she knew it was coming, because she had seen it on social media. So she could have called a press conference on Monday. But give her credit and say, well, Monday it's late. She could have called a press conference Tuesday. She has a team of lawyers, you know. We have one lawyer.
Let me answer to you. If you said Wednesday, and me have, all right, so you say something for the man in the wilderness, and me have all of my documents in front of me when me clear and everything. From you say Wednesday, me see that in our ear, you know. Me have come through it out right away. Me have call a press conference same time and through it out. Me have JS and everybody. So me have show it and say, see there, see my paper them here. Same like how you show the documents now and say, hey, you do this. So me have show the documents from Wednesday evening. Me never now wait till Wednesday done, you know. From you put it out, me have answer your Wednesday evening to answer, see there. See my documents here, Mr. Radigan. I pay up everything and everything clear with me.
Because guess what? We have a hearing date from May 29th. Now, here's what's going to happen between now and then. This is not going to die. This issue is not going to die. So instead, here's what's going to die. Here's what's going to happen. The minister is going to have the proverbial death by 1,000 cuts. Because every time I get information, whether it's be from the US government or the Jamaican government or whomever, we are going to provide that. And then she'll just have to sit there and deal with it. So we're actually forcing her to come out if she have her document and say, okay, you know what? You're completely wrong. Here is the document proving that I did file. That's what she has to do. Now, regarding the integrity, well, let me just go back to another thing that I said this morning. I said that if the minister would come out and say, you know what? I didn't file. It was an oversight. And so I'm sorry, I will file. Now, a couple of things. She's going to have to go throw some people under the bus, like the permanent secretary, right? Which would be unfair. If the permanent secretary told her, whether verbally or in writing, that Minister, based on the statutes and the regulation, if you accept this gift coming from Fin Partners, paid for by corporate Jamaica, then you're going to have to fill out certain forms. You have to declare this on your statutory declaration. You're going to have to maybe tell the tax people, and you're also going to have to tell the Ministry of Finance. If the permanent secretary did what she was supposed to do, did that, then, you know, whatever happens, happens. But also, the same Financial Audit Act, it says that the minister is responsible to know these things.
Yes.
She's responsible to know these things. So she can't throw the blame on everybody. And then the three ladies who provided me with the information saying that the minister didn't file. Again, we're appealing to them that if your approach, and I know some people might take offense to it and say, well, they're not planning to do that. But listen, we're not waiting for, I am proactive. I'm not waiting for it to happen and say, oh, if I didn't know, I would have mentioned it something. No.
So, Ratty, let me just give you next breaking news. So, My banker brethren just send me an email, but I make him say, can I pass down to you, but to in my mail. So I forgot send copy something and send it to you. Make her read it out. But make him just say when because the 99,000 US, if it go 100,000 of things you follow it, that's why them not go 100,000. Make him say it. Voila.
Wow.
You can hear me? Yes.
Yeah, you hear me now, Randy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we deal with foreign officials, the act what we normally use is the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, right? And on page, I send the guide to learn from. On page 49, let me just read a quick part of where it's right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on, that's a slide for me. All right. So under the section of the certification and reporting violations, right? Further down, I'm going to read the statement. It says, the sale of defense articles and services valued
Turn on your TV.
Turn on the TV. That's where I get some feedback from you. Whoa. Tell him say
hold on. Turn on your TV for me. Cause it have feedback enough.
Sorry.
Yeah, turn it on. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I read it out. Read it back now.
Right. So this is about defense. So this is the only thing we're finding out, but it might be in the actual article.
Yes.
Because the sale of defense articles and services valued at $500,000 or more should have disclosure requirements concerning fees and commission, including bribes, in an aggregate amount of $100,000 or more. Violation of the AECA and ITI can result in civil and criminal penalties. So in that, whenever we deal with any foreign officials, that is what we normally have to refer to, the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act.
Oh, Foreign Corrupt. Oh, I'm familiar with it. The Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. Yeah.
Oh, so 100 or more, 100,000 or more. So them go 99.
Right.
Oh,
No, that's for fees and commission.
yes.
And bribe. Anything over that, them have to report.
Anything over the 99,000, 100,000 or more.
100,000 or more.
Oh, so them have to report. So them just, me not tell you ratty, man. Hey, them know what them are doing ratty. And you just say, who used to deal with them already, ratty? Some ministry, which one of them deal with them already? Them know what them are doing now. You say, Jamaica government deal with the same company already.
Yeah. Jamaica, the tourist board.
No, man, it applies. That good, man. That good, brother. All right, later.
All right,
Cool. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Mr. Then can't get your family, you know.
Yeah. So Finn stop at 99.
Yes.
And then 99 satisfy the other one too. 99
yes.
satisfy the other
but
one.
We know
too.
there must something in there, so because 15 million and you still have there's 2 million or more anything that Jamaica but
that's the finance. That's the finance ministry.
Okay. But the 99 but 100,000 or more, so them just say okay. And the government deal with them already, so them know what to do. We could stop at 99.
Yeah. Them work with tourism ministry already. Them work with tourism ministry already. Yeah. And in fact, I think they have another. Somebody sent me something recently about some contract issues with them again. Same Fin Partners. So Fin Partners never just drop out of the sky. Fin Partners are going with things, you know. and this may cause me now to generate something now with the U.S. government to say, take a look at Fin and look at Fin and the contracts that they've executed with the Jamaican government.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there. So we'll go from there. So no, here's the thing. If like I said, the Integrity Commission, 5 minutes, you pull our file, you look to see if it's there. If it's not there, then you have a case, but now you have to prove that she knowingly did it. We can supply you with the evidence that she knowingly did it. And once you do that, then we expect that Mr. Christie and his band of investigators, along with the prosecutor, that they will bring a charge against the minister in the parish court. And what we're going to be asking for, in line with what that gentleman from Singapore said, we're going to say, look, if we want to make a clear statement that we're not going to tolerate wrongdoings, the violations of law and violations of administrative regulations, corruption, etc. We're not going to tolerate any of this any longer. And so what we're going to be asking is that the prosecutor should ask the judge to ask for a sentence of 2 years for the minister at hard labor. 2 years in prison. That's what we're asking.
That's the maximum.
The maximum.
No, if them did mean Jamaica good. When it touch minister and them people there, them forget harsh penalty. You forgot like 25 years.
Well,
That's a deter. You see what them do? Put a little 24 months start. When you
but
have 25 years, you know, have no more husband and no wife right now. When you look at your age, you know, them will not touch nothing, you know. Them will not do nothing wrong, so no ratty. But them write the thing for please themselves, and we need it for change.
well, look, we don't know what the tax people, what they're if they determine that there was tax evasion and material misrepresentation of facts, if they determine that, then they may have some severe and stricter punishment than this. But at least, even if you said 2 years and you say, well, it's only symbolic, but to send a minister to prison,
That message start, yes.
You need to start. Just like how we are start right now.
Yes.
Just like how we are start. You need to
Yes.
start somewhere. And,
Yeah.
and I think this is going to resonate throughout the Jamaican society, because no, people of all walks of life will a lot of them will realize for the first time that, wait a minute, them guys are serious. And wait a minute, we can do it too. We can do it too.
And that's why they will motivate them.
We are motivate and we are influence them and we inspire them.
For the first time in the history of Jamaica, them just understand what we are saying, what to say. We don't just stay out number one people, just watch this. We don't have no malice against nobody.
No.
Yeah, and we don't have no ill feeling against no one. We just say them are trample and they get up pan poor people straight for decades now. Time for that stop. And them are rob the country. And a joke. They make much report until they say, you know, government spending waste over 200 billion a year, and then nobody knows nothing. We know nobody are going to prison.
And keep.
Yes, Ratty.
And keep in mind.
Yes.
Keep in mind. Again, it's worth repeating for the people who heard it this morning, and it's worth saying for the people who are tuning in for the first time today, that the Jamaican government did not have to spend a single cent in this endeavor. Why? There was a consensus in CARICOM that we are all going to support this lady, this Baroness Scotland.
Yes.
And so Jamaica, that 43 million that they spent, and we don't even know if it's 43 million exactly. It could be more. We don't. Well, we think it could be more. We don't think it's less, because otherwise,
I remember when I look out to the whooping eye, I know it's them lie.
But the claim is $43 million.
Yes.
That 40 people are wanting to think about some of the basic schools, some of the primary schools, some of the roads, some of the medical health assistance. Yes, that could have been provided with that $43 million. And yet, it wasn't done. And guess what? I want the government to show me one benefit that the taxpayer received. Not a particular person, but the taxpayer received from this $43 million spent on this campaign.
And you know what hurt people? You know what? The 43 million spent plus the next 15 million where private sector will go gear.
Right.
In that 58. For us gear a job. Fiki she. Because when she get a pay. Fiki she a job. Somewhere else I know she have a job already. Not Jamaican there so, but she get a job. Just look at job for she.
And think about the motivation. Why is it that Musan Group of Companies and Grace Kennedy and Keith Duncan, why did they give her money? We don't even know how much they contributed. But wouldn't it have been better spent if Grace Kennedy said, listen, we're gonna send some products to some of the schools so school children can have a healthy
that
meal.
Money.
Yeah.
Them hard with it, them sit down pan it and hard with it. That way there. But it's simple for you to stash it away. It's gone, you know.
And then you ask yourself the question, what's the support for this lady? Because what would happen is that she wouldn't be representing Jamaica. She'd be representing an organization called the Commonwealth.
So she can't just do one.
Jamaica is just one member out of 54.
Good.
Jamaica is 1 out of 54.
So
right?
she couldn't sit down, Ratty, and it's not she alone on a board and just say, hey, I do the whole of this in Jamaica, you know.
No.
She can't do it.
No.
So that means that she get paid. And do something, yes.
If she did that, she would be guilty of some of the same things that people accuse the Baroness of doing, because them said there was some financial irregularity and she gives some contracts to some friends and this and that and that. So she couldn't do that. She couldn't represent Jamaica in isolation.
Yes,
she couldn't say Jamaica we are representing. She have 54 countries she have to attend to, right? And a lot of them bigger than Jamaica. And have a bigger voice than Jamaica. So, and then the other point, again, it's worth repeating, that the minister said, and again, what we're talking about is not, we're not putting words into the minister's mouth. These are words that actually came out of her own mouth. She said that question was asked, and why is it that, why is it that Jamaica decided to go at it so late? And she said, well, it's actually not late, but she said some countries, other countries can, talk to us and said that, we should put up the candidate. Other countries did this, other countries did that. And then she said, we didn't have consultations before, but then we started having consultations, and these other countries said this and this other country said. So let me see if I understand this now. Other countries come and tell Jamaica, go do this, and Jamaica do it, and spend taxpayers' money on top of it. What did those countries telling you to do? What did they give you?
What did Jamaica get out of that?
Yeah, what did they give you?
Use our money?
Yeah, them come to you and them say to you, we want you to put up a candidate to run in this election against this woman. What did Jamaica get from those countries to do that? Because you can't tell me, say, Jamaica just, a country just tell Jamaica and Jamaica just do it. So.
And cut against your own Caribbean neighbors.
Your own Caribbean neighbors.
Your own Caribbean people, for not all, for please some other country, for please UK.
So that's another story.
The Prime Minister UK did push this,
That's another story.
Next one and what have you.
And if you remember what she said, she said no other country provided financial assistance.
So financial support. By the way, why did I even say that?
So the question we have is that, okay, support can come in many ways, many forms. So the question we want to ask is, what did Jamaica tell us, these countries who tell you this, and let us know what kind of support did you get, if any, from them? We know you say they never give no financial support, but what other support did you get?
That is show no, but hear this. She said it don't with the government of Jamaica only. Deal with this. Why she never say private sector put a cent? She never say it. She said just the Jamaica government, and it means government, the private sector and the government. The Jamaica government only.
That was the perfect.
And it was a lie. So if it was a lie and them spend money too, we want to know about why did I say them never put no money. Me have one person say, yes, sir, Jonathan John, 75 years in prison, Anjo, with Zeke, lash in, lash out. The money not easy, For you sure the thing when the thing when we just play a little while, them just 75 years.
No, but
yes, man.
No, but the thing is, she didn't, and then that goes to transparency, and transparency hinges on honesty. It hinges on honesty, because if you're, and she said it several times, that my campaign is based on transparency, right? And so you say, if you're transparent, then why didn't you just tell us the whole story? Why now you have people have to dig behind and find out now all of these things? And that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Just come out and say, listen, the Jamaican government is financing it, as well as private sector. The private sector.
She never say that.
No, she never said it.
And that's the problem. But yes, still them spend over 15 million Jamaican.
Yeah, and then she come and say other countries told us that we should get involved in it. And then you say, well, nothing for nothing, very little for your money. What did those other countries give you besides? We know you say that they're not giving them money, but what kind of other support did they give? Did they give you logistical support? Did they give you, like, I don't know, moral support? What kind of support did they give you besides financial support? What kind of support did they give you?
Them giving them more grants to give to the people, them when I give to the people, them. Because remember the thing I run in, UK, they give grant to, Same like how US give grant, them give grant. So we don't know, and the people them not get enough of the grant them were coming out in the pandemic. The people them not get it all now about it.
Yeah, it could have been one of those. It could have been one of those things where they said, listen, you go ahead and do it, and what we'll do is we'll give some more scholarships, something like that.
I will give some more money in a grant towards
Then she can't say them never support that. She can't actually hide behind it and say, well, there was no financial support from my campaign, but there was some kind of financial support for something else as a result of them telling you to do this. Because remember now, Jamaica never get up on them own and decide so them are going to run against Scotland. Play the tape, man. Play the tape, man.
I forgot to play the tape, man, because
play the tape from the beginning when you start talking about other countries convince Jamaica for run.
Yeah, man. I forgot to play the tape right away. Hold on. I forgot to the
And again, you know,
Nine. When we go to nine,
no. Go to the beginning. Go to the beginning.
It's a beginning.
Go to the beginning.
The Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator
You soon hear the question
is
asked.
currently in the midst of some people think, a controversial candidacy for the post of Commonwealth Secretary General. She's here now to update us on what's going on. Morning, ma'am. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Morning.
How are
Thank
you
you for having me. I'm great. Thank you.
I just found out that for you to get this position, you will no longer be a minister, you will no longer be a senator. So why in the world you want to leave us, please?
It is with mixed feelings, but it's about service and service in a different capacity. Service not only to Jamaica, but service to 54 countries across the Commonwealth with shared values and shared principles, and that really have and has a great potential to deliver even better impact in communities across the Commonwealth. So it's about service.
Yeah, so before Simone, I understand what service means, but exactly your role would be what? What you do as a Secretary General?
I would be, if I am chosen by heads of government, I would be the head of the Secretariat, which is the main administrative body of the 54, or rather of the entities that serve the 54 countries. There are essentially three pillars. There's a Commonwealth Secretariat, there's a Commonwealth of Learning, and there's, of course, the youth program. There are, 2 G7 countries, 5 G20 countries, and the rest of us are at different stages of development within the Commonwealth. And there are, many accredited organizations, civil society, volunteers that work in every imaginable sector that help with technical capacity building, that support young people's empowerment, gender advancement, so many things that are of critical support in allowing us to achieve our development goals.
Okay.
So where would you be based?
I would be based in London. Trust me, this is the hardest part. The thought of leaving is the hardest part, but it would be for 4 years. I am offering myself to serve for the period 2022 to 2026, which would be the next substantive term of the Secretariat.
Is it safe to say that your announcement caught people off guard?
Yes, I think that's safe to say.
And why would that have been the case? I mean, you wouldn't have wanted anybody to know you were considering?
No, we had been asked years ago when countries were first starting to say that they thought there should be a change of leadership. We had declined because our view was that hopefully the issues that brought those queries about would resolve themselves, but they haven't. And I think the fact that 3 candidates have come forward from different regions clearly sets that out. There's a candidate from Tuvalu in the Pacific. There was a candidate from Kenya in Africa. And there is, of course,
He's withdrawn.
myself.
That person has...
She has withdrawn. The Kenyan candidate
Yes.
has withdrawn. But the Tuvalu candidate, Sir Iateli, is still in the race, very much so. So it's a three-person race.
So you saw this and you said, I want it, or did the Prime Minister or someone
Here you are.
say, Kamina, I think this is...
Well,
maybe
we
never said
were
Kamina, I should say
asked
Senator.
again when after the Kenyan candidate withdrew, the approaches started once more, and this time
Approaches from whom, ma'am?
from a few other countries, and so we started consultations. We didn't consult before, but this time we consulted within the region and across the Commonwealth. And the response was so positive that it
Hold on. Stop. You hear what she just said? We consulted within the region and it was so positive. That's a lie. That's a lie, because remember I think it's a premier of Antigua. Him said this is going to cause a rift in CARICOM. And as a result of that, 10 CARICOM members did not vote for her. 10 CARICOM. So when she said that it was positive in CARICOM, no, that's not true. But positive in the region.
Former member of Parliament that tell us don't cause a rift because they don't do it already with Venezuela.
Right.
When they got excited.
You Small said that.
Small say it and other people come out and talk. Yeah, good.
Fall, we were getting questions at the High Commission, and we said, you know what, we just have to take the decision and go. When the Kenyan candidate withdrew, their government actually issued a note to all the heads of state indicating that they were withdrawing at this time because they hoped another candidate would come forward and there would be time for that candidacy to manifest. So it wasn't perfect timing, but They say there's nobody better than Jamaican women in the sprint.
Oh,
All right.
I don't-
Go
I
to
don't-
11 minutes and 30 seconds of the interview.
Right away.
Yeah.
People, everyone must say, I wonder what's so
You know,
fast,
come on,
see?
well, too.
Yeah, man, where are the thing like?
it
All right.
doesn't work that way, though, you know.
Sita.
It really doesn't.
No, I don't want anybody
On
explaining.
camera. I'm not even going to wait till we break.
No, no, I
I'm not
don't.
sorry to
No, watch now.
Oh,
Watch now.
Father of our creation.
Next month when you see me, I'm sit down. So, and them say, why I'm sit down? So I say, well, me
Because
and the
he's
Secretary General and his
Secretary
friend.
Yeah,
good
would you
friend.
guys allow me to say something, even though it's not, you didn't ask me the question?
Nobody not asking no
Something that bothered
question.
me when I woke up this morning, I understand that people were asking questions about the funding of the campaign. And I was a little surprised about that because it's something I had publicly answered previously in a radio interview just a few weeks ago, that the campaign is a Jamaican campaign funded by the government of Jamaica. No other government has contributed any finances to this campaign. It is Jamaican. And my travel is absorbed within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that has a budget for these things, as I've been blending the campaign along with work that I would normally do as Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. So we will report on the expenditure after the campaign, because it's a little early in the stage to do so now. But there are no secrets. There's no attempt to hide anything. And, you know, I hope people will not seek to characterize it that way.
And politicians mustn't be
All right.
always.
All right. We're not just done here now. It's a blending of the truth and secrecy. That's what you're just done here, because the truth is that, yes, the Jamaican government did provide funding for her campaign. But the secrecy part is that she failed to tell the people of Jamaica that her campaign was also funded by private concerns in Jamaica. She didn't say that.
No.
And therein lies the problem with transparency. Therein lies the problem with
right.
transparency. How can you claim to be transparent and you only tell half of the story? You only tell half of the story.
Yeah.
And so this proves, and see, this proves to me that there was something she was trying to hide. Because when you go back and you look at the Fin Partners document that said that we've been providing services to her since April, May, and June, we've been providing services, right? In fact, the contract started in April and ended in June. So once you see that, then that shows that she knew she was getting the benefits. So any filing that she made or a failure to file with Integrity Commission, the knowledge is there. You don't have to prove intent. You just know that she knew that she should have filed this and she didn't file it. So Integrity Commission, we're waiting on you to come with that document to let us know whether or not she filed or not. We don't believe she filed. We don't believe she filed, right? By virtue of the fact that what she said and what she did with the Ministry of Finance. We don't believe, but so that's an allegation. But we want know the ministry. Sorry, we want know the Integrity Commission to come forward and provide that information. That's all we want.
That's what I look for. Ratty, before we even wrap up with that thing, and I'm going to go up on a I'll show you two little small clippings. You remember we were talking about body cam. And today we hear Dr. the National Security Minister make a speech and say 400 body cam. We are talking about 11,000 plus 2,000 DC. We are talking about 13,000 members. And they must say 400 body cam. I can't do maths in a ratty. I don't know. I don't think you can do maths in that, but I calculate that.
Was that? Run that by me again.
So you have 11,000 police members right now. And plus 2,000, like 2,000 DC. That's around 13,000. 11,000 plus. So around 13,000. But the minister has him come with 400 body worn camera now. 400. To go serve now and then he got 400 you know.
For serve 11,000?
Yeah, around 13,000.
Yeah. Oh,
So, I can't do maths. I don't understand what you must say. No, go that. Before, from 2016, them have people that test body cam, you know. Let me show you something. 2021, them did come with something like this. Watch this.
Constabulary Force will be introducing body-worn cameras to its officers. And while it won't necessarily solve crime, it is expected to improve community-police relationship and boost transparency and accountability.
Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson says the procurement process has started for the purchase of thousands of cameras and other gadgets for the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The cameras are expected to provide both audio and video. Several countries the world over have been using cameras. They help to shine a light on police conduct. Chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, Detective Sergeant Petrie Rowe, is welcoming the use of the devices.
Our squad's account sometimes may not be deemed credible because it is deemed a cover-up, and certainly an independent instrument like a camera will support our account.
Ex-police officer Kevin Watson says the cameras are long overdue. Watson, who was on the lottery scamming task force in Montego Bay, St. James, says his team would often use handheld cameras when going on operations. And in other situations, he said it could serve as a learning tool for police training and operations, while alluding to the recent Horizon Park shooting in June.
If they had body cameras, we could actually see exactly what took place. We could see where the police went wrong, if there was something wrong there with how they approached the premises, right? And these could be used as tools to improve the overall performance of the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
And we spoke to some members of the public who have mixed reactions about the introduction of the cameras.
I don't know how successful it would be. I don't know if it will still be in the hands of the police to determine the outcome, or it will be monitored from a certain point.
Just like the Jamaican Eye that helped out recently in most crimes, I believe this body cam will help clear the name of the JCF and put those who are actually doing wrong behind bars.
Police doing things right now, you don't know what's going on, and them constantly give different stories about one situation, so you can't really trust them words, you see me? So I think the body cam is a good thing.
Jamila Maitland.
So they hear that now. So him they do this and him do this too. Now
calling for body cameras for its members who operate in the zones of Special Operations ZOSOs. The matter was raised at today's meeting of the Joint Select Committee reviewing the ZOSO legislation. It's not the first time that there has been a call for police personnel to be equipped with body-worn cameras. The calls are usually made following incidents where cops are accused of using excessive and deadly force. Chairman of the Police Federation, Corporal Rowan James, said the cameras are important.
Our recommendation is that all police officers assigned to the zones of special operation shall be equipped with body-worn cameras as stipulated to the specification of working in these zones.
The cameras would record activities of the security forces while they're on operation. Committee member Lambert Brown had questions.
The issue, however, for me is, why isn't this now being done? I'm aware, I was told that friendly nation had made big donations to us.
What?
So, and we thought that this would have been the case when we discussed the ZOSO, that body-worn cameras would be part of the joint team. Why is this not being done? Is it that you're not refusing to wear them? Do you know why? Are you issuing with them?
In response, Corporal James said the police have still not received the body cameras.
From what I know is that there are continual dialogue between Commissioner and the Minister, and I'm sure what we do appreciate is that our membership are raring and eager to have this aspect of it, because it will not only assist us in our operational efficiency, but it will enlighten the court's position in arriving at a determination with matters that will appear before the court, and it will also lend itself to effective accountability and transparency.
National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang said the cameras have been ordered.
Body cams are nothing you buy off the shelves. Those that come off the shelf have demonstrated their inefficiency before. Said body cameras we don't buy off the shelf. I'm saying body cameras on order for the relevant numbers and will be assigned.
So this are 3 years ago, you know. I got 4 years ago. And this, I when them did that test in 2016. Much
look,
just look on the date. And see there? You see the date?
Mm-hmm.
Look on the date. Look on the date, yes, sir.
Them take this.
See them have camera upon them? Look here.
Jamaica Constabulary Force members wear body cameras as part of a pilot project launched in August 2016 at the Office of the Commissioner of Police, Woolworth, 2016 August. See them? You see them? See them now? See it? Now the man there said the camera them are flip cars, so I know the body camera them that wear, you know. You understand? See there? And then it tell you through the
so Rati, so them have them down yes, so them do body camera testing from 2016. No, you know what the National Security Minister said to them now, the body camera, them buy 400 body camera. 400. Remember body camera in the place, you know. He said them not come off a shelf for that 2021. Yeah, 2019, somewhere around there, so. But just 2020. But in a 2016, them did a weird them did a do a pilot, and I know we not have nothing. And now I must say 400 for 13,000. We can't do the maths. That means you have to share by the camera. I said them do it back now, Ratty.
No.
You have one man. Oh God. Everybody have them one camera.
No, and somebody needs to do a forensic analysis of the spending of the Ministry of National Security, because don't forget that this is the same man who said that he has 1.2 billion with a B US dollars to spend on Plan Secure Jamaica, which is the government's crime plan, which they say is not a crime plan, it's a national security plan. Yes. And this plan was for fiscal year 2016, 2017 to 2022, 2023. So it ends this year. And if it ends with only 400, then the question is, where is the money that he said he had to purchase these cameras? Where did the money go?
He purchased them already. He did say
400? 400?
400 now. 400 just now. Just have no paper then just now.
No, but wait, 400 for what? 11,000 people?
13 plus.
400 body cam for 13,000 people.
Yeah.
Right? And he's been spending the money since 2017.
Yes. I'm a tough fan. Maybe just send this to you. Maybe I can just read it right. Maybe just send it to you right now.
But you know, the thing is, we shouldn't be surprised enough because
just come to you.
Yeah, we shouldn't be surprised because remember this morning you talked about a police station where them not have any vehicles.
Them not have no vehicle. And then down in a Clarendon, the police come out and come talk. The police come out, come talk. Them have to take taxi. Go up on crime scene. Up in a Clarendon. Taxi man with them ticket. You can believe that? You see where you just get? The 400 him say.
Yes.
And then he might buy other next 1,000. Oh yeah, other next 1,000 where the money gone. When spend so much money upon when not do. When them spend the money upon that $170 billion that you talk about.
So hold on a second. Let me see if I understand this now. So when they purchase the 1,000, you might go have 1,400.
For like 13,000.
For 13,000 people.
But him not purchase that yet. It's 400, you know.
No. But him say go and purchase another 1,000 in this fiscal year.
This fiscal year, it done April.
It done April of next year.
Yeah.
Right. So buy 1,000. It done March 31st. It done March 31st of next year.
March 31st.
So between now and March 31st, you buy 1,000. So you might have 1,400.
Yeah.
And them have 13,000 people for supply them to.
Yeah, around that 13,000. Yeah. So 13. Yeah. So me not understand this. Me can't do maths, you know. So 400. So what am I do? Share all that work, but and then him said the uniform. You read about the uniform part there, so?
Yeah, him say buy uniform for work alongside the
body camera.
cameras. Yeah.
Because body camera don't fit. So the uniform where you wear now, the body camera can't fit on it. So it have wait though. Big like a Titanic or something. Me not understand. So the body camera now have no clip, so it can't fit on the uniform where you wear. So a special uniform you use body camera upon. Me never know that. You understand? Yeah, you understand that?
No, and I don't understand it. And what I also don't understand is the fact that you can have somebody with a 93% disapproval rating and somebody who doesn't seem to have the Jamaica's common interest at heart when it comes to crime fighting, because he hasn't traveled to major cities where he can liaise with people with first world technology and first world investigative techniques and skills to bring some of those back to Jamaica, invite some of his counterparts to come to Jamaica to help Jamaica. I don't see that travel. I don't see that at all. Look, there's something called a Homicide Investigators Conference, right? And there's one big one every year, right? I don't see him attending that, you know. They are sending people to attend it. There's so many different things that he could be doing, traveling, meeting with his counterparts, right? Trying to look at best practices and bring them back to Jamaica. Get yourself out there to what them call it, liaise,
liaison, yes,
yeah,
yes.
to conduct liaison and networking. And networking as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see that, and that is supposed to be the job of the minister. And then also with the police commissioner, we don't see him doing much traveling either. We don't see him doing much traveling. And there are so many places in this world that he could have gone to say, listen, you and I, our countries, we have similar crime problems. Let me see what you're doing to address your crime problem, and I'll share my experiences with you. And let's see if we can come together and come up with something. Because you can't look to America to solve all your problems, because things that will work in America won't work in Jamaica. Likewise with England and Canada and and Europe. Some of the problems that we're facing, you're facing them in Africa. And other Caribbean islands and Latin America. And sometimes those are the people that we should be spending some time with to say, okay, let's see what you are doing, because our crime problems are the same.
But Bratty, you just said something about the money, and I eat more because it's $178 billion that, you know. So the $178 billion, let me tell you, if them spend $40 billion in the ghetto, them could have do a lot of things and uplift the ghetto and not even spend enough of that. Enough of them money there. If me play the commissioner right now, I tell you, say, all right, I'm going to play something with the commissioner. Where I never want to play him, let me just play it. Look here. Here where I say yes, sir. Just hear where I say yes. Them that do something about that station in a Portland. But here this.
We've been refurbishing probably just over 100 police stations across the country. But also there's been a significant investment in various other aspects of what we do. Now we have to make sure we, as the police and the Portland team, led by Mr. Wellington, and the area team led by Mr. Nelson, have to make sure that the policing we deliver is reflective of this sort of newness around the infrastructure that we're actually working from. We actually have a really good relationship with the people of Portland. But where we have a good relationship, we'll make it better. And where the relationship is not so good, we'll make it good. Because if we don't have that good relationship, we can't police the way we should.
Yes, the police that make a good relationship with the people. Them. Him say, well, we don't have no good. Him doesn't buy. I saw Gooks this still, you know. So we just only see him a bit more. Can we can't hold him up?
All of this is in keeping with really the broad strategy of how we're approaching this business of crime. And beyond that, the business of public safety and creating an environment that people feel safe and comfortable in to go about their normal business.
Hold on, stop it right there.
Okay.
I've always said, and I will continue to maintain, that there are at least two elements to addressing the crime issue in Jamaica. One is you have to fight crime, you have to combat crime, and that's reflected in your stats, right? The arrests, the convictions. Well, forget about convictions, because in Jamaica, you know, it pays to commit crime in Jamaica, because if you have a good attorney, you're going to get off, right? But the stats is one thing, and the stats is not dispositive of the issue. The stats, they're not the only thing we should be looking at. You have to look at how people feel. And you hear what I said a while ago? So that people feel safe. And ask him the question, ask him now, do people feel safe when they shoot up bus? Do people feel safe when them drive past a corner where people are play domino and them just spray the thing?
Nah.
Do people feel safe? Your shop, And the man them come in there and start shoot up the place.
And then Ratty, when police come, them not feel safe, neither fit even talk to the police.
Run that, do me a favor, just rewind a little bit. Let me hear him talk about the safety, how people feel safe now, please.
Yeah, man. Let me hear this.
Yeah.
Led by Mr. Wellington.
First
Mr.
of all,
Nelson.
him should, hold on there, stop there. Him should address the people and by them title. As a leader, and you are the police commissioner, you're supposed to say, yes, address them by them title. They're not civilians. What am I talking about? Mr. This and Mr. That.
Wellington.
No.
All right, good.
To make sure that the policing we deliver is reflective of this sort of newness around the infrastructure that we're actually working from.
Around the infrastructure, this start a newness around the infrastructure, and people that have the police car. Next station and them repair. Me can't bother with goods, you know. So I cook mash up made it and look at the ribbon I cut. And what did them people are poppy show now? See ribbon I cut there? Red, green and gold ribbon.
We actually have a really good relationship with the
ribbon cut of this, you know. Oh man.
People of Portland.
And what you cut there? No disrespect. But a crab is there. You could have used him claw. You never have to carry no scissors. Claw can cut ribbon, you know better. Yeah, man, them crab here with big claw can cut ribbon quick and fast. Clean too. That's a man.
But where we have a good relationship, we'll make it better. And where the relationship is not so good, we'll make it good.
So look how much place relationship now goes so
them
good
couldn't even
with
open the
police and they
door.
make it good.
Yes, them couldn't even open the door. Go back and look. Go back and look. Go back and look. Yes, them couldn't look.
But where we have a good relationship, we'll make it.
Them couldn't even open the door.
Them go open it and push it in, you know. Look
All
at
the infrastructure that we're actually working from.
Look what it now.
We actually have a really good relationship with the people of Portland.
What I know.
But where we have a good relationship, we'll make it.
You see my God, so couldn't open the door.
This body, no man.
It's a comedy of errors, man.
A comedy is.
And where the relationship is not so good, we'll make it good.
So why not make it good over the place? Because you need community policing. You can't go in a through a ghetto, you just kick off and do something, you will not get nobody at all never talk to the police like that. So they make it worse. Police still a drape up man in them pants, you know.
Yeah,
Young
man.
youth, you know. Because I said it's not good. If a man arrest him, then know if you arrest him, right? You just talk a man, just man rush people know if I use video. Hey boy, no video me. And go with the camera, where you do video me? Them come on your own house and a while with this and a video them. So the camera go work now, Ratty. Remember move one there because
no man, go back. No, go back. Go back. Make him I want to hear about the safety thing when say people feel safe.
We don't have that good relationship. We can't police the way we should. All of this is in keeping with really the broad strategy of how we're approaching this business of crime. And beyond that, the business of public safety.
Hold on, stop there. The business of crime fighting, Mr. Major General Anthony Anderson. Not the business of crime. Business of crime fighting.
Yes. Sir Googs. Sir Googs. Yeah, man.
That people feel safe and
There you
comfortable
go.
in to go about their normal business.
People don't feel safe.
Now, clearly, in that strategy, there's one pillar that deals with law enforcement and the range of those activities that we are involved in, which if you were looking at it on a scale of intensity, would start perhaps with our enhanced measures. And probably at the other end is how we deal with
Stop there, please.
Yeah.
Stop there, please. Jamaica, we're in a desperate position. Desperate. No, he just said enhanced measures. And I would like to remind the listening audience that some of those enhanced measures are zones of special operations and states of emergency. Now, one of the things that you should ascribe to any police commissioner is a familiarity with the Jamaican Constitution. You have to ascribe that to him because he has to work within the parameter of that and the penal code, right? And here it is, we have a gentleman here who's talking about enhanced security measures, meaning those two things I just mentioned, particularly states of emergency. Now, with a state of emergency, the state of emergency, and we've discussed this several times, but again, it's worth repeating because we have to reinforce this in people's heads. A state of emergency is only, under the Constitution, is only appropriate in 3 instances, 3 circumstances. And what are they? War. You can call a state of emergency if Jamaica is fighting a war with its neighbors or anybody else.
Yes.
2, insurgency, like the Tivoli Gardens incident, where you have public chaos, uproar, whatever, and it's beyond the normal police ability to control. And so you have to call a state of emergency and bring out the troops and reinforcements and whatnot. And number 3 is natural disaster. If you have a hurricane and, the earthquake or whatever, you have to bring them out to help people. Those are the 3. The Constitution mentions nothing about a state of emergency being employed to quell crime. No. I mean, quell crime as a normal crime fighting measure. And that's what they've been using. And that's what they've been calling enhanced security measures. People, don't make them fool, Don't make them fool, That's because they don't have a plan. They run out of ideas, and so them start violate the Constitution. Them start violate the Constitution, and violating the Constitution, them violate people's rights.
Yes.
Them violates people's rights, and they violate people's rights under the Constitution. They violate the Constitution and violate people's rights under the Constitution. So, people, I'm not impressed by what I see here. In fact, I'm depressed.
That's what it make you depressed. No, it make me more than depressed. Boy, I feel laugh all boy after me say come on me eye to box. I can't believe this. And the great Sir Gooks this, I have to get laugh. I try to make a straight face, but it now work. Me finish a little bit.
Safety, traffic enforcement. And in between that would be how we deal with investigations. How we leverage the technology that's available now to make our investigations and our operations better. Criminals who have committed crimes have been in custody in 10 to 15 minutes afterwards. Cold cases that...
You are criminal, but they just have 100 million, 10 to 15 minutes afterwards.
No, but you hear him say, criminals who commit crimes. What criminal though? Criminal who commit crimes.
Yeah,
so
man.
I say criminal who commit crimes.
Criminal who say people criminal who commit crimes.
Man's a criminal who commit crimes.
Them in a custody 10 and 15 minutes, But me just see them just mash up beryllium, them have to run and guard it. Then look the man, them take 10 million, and next 23 million, then they shoot an next beryllium place, then they go take quite some other things. The man them got more like 100 million right now, just the other day. And at 10 and 15 minutes, them take to go lock up the body. They might look for some people and can't even find them. Here, when say 10 and 15 minutes, in technology at work. It's a bail I'm tell to, Yeah, man. Yeah.
Persons who did crimes some time ago and thought that they'd gotten away with it. We reopened them and we found those people. So
which people? Name them.
And name the stats. You might talk about cold cases. And
yeah, but we want to name one.
Tell her the percentage of cases solved by the cold case unit. That's what I must tell you.
Yeah, man, we want him to name one of them because I know I'm not going to name Patrick Bailey.
No, here what I'm supposed to do. What I'm supposed to do is go to the DPP and collect the stats and say, okay, how many people have we arrested for murder that ended up being convicted?
Yes.
How many people? I mean, what's the percentage? Because guess what? It has been shown, and the stats have been publicly announced that I think at one point they said something like, if you commit a murder, you stand something like a 80% chance of getting away, and because of shoddy investigation.
Yeah.
Because of shoddy and it continues to this day. And we can't blame the policeman. It's because people like this gentleman here, right? They don't know what they're doing. The high command They don't know what they're doing. They have, believe me, they have serious and experienced, seasoned people in the JCF who can take over the helm of that organization and do a much better job than this man. This man is a military man with no law enforcement experience. No law enforcement experience, right? So what is he doing there? Is he a figurehead? And if he's a figurehead, he's not going to inspire anybody. In fact, I'm being told that the high command, his own high command, they're fed up. They're fed up of him. They're fed up. And what to say about the rank and file? They feel as if it's a rudderless ship. They don't have anybody there that is steering the ship in the right direction. They don't have it. It's just rudderless. It's just a go all over the place, right? And I mean, Jamaica, ask yourself the question: how much more of this can you put up with? How much more of this nonsense can you put up with? This incompetence. How much more of it? And when I say these things, I say them because there are statistics to prove what I'm saying. Them come now and tell us, say, crime gone down 20% and since the beginning of the year and all of this nonsense. Ask them this question: do people feel safe? Remember what I just said? Them just shoot up a bus and shoot must tree pick in at the bus, you know. A bus, them shoot up, you know. Public passenger vehicle.
Sure. And 2 buses, yeah, man, yeah. You just shoot up that. Let me just finish play this.
There's a lot more going on. A lot of emphasis on investigations, and I'm blending all these aspects of policing.
Hold on a second there. What were you blending before tonight?
Well, yeah, but them blend everything, you know.
What were you blending tonight?
Them blend everything, brother.
We hear the Honorable, the Minister, Kamina Johnson-Smith, use the word blending, say she blend funds with them gear with some other funds and our duties because she had because it's took so much normally do. Yeah, so this look like it's a trend now at the end of the administration.
That word is a blending trend.
It's a blending.
A lot of emphasis on investigations, and I'm blending all these aspects of policing: the intelligence, the investigations, the operations, the interventions in communities.
Intervention.
That as the police force, we have been doing and outreaching. COVID-19 provided opportunities. And it's these opportunities that we have to seek in any crisis.
It provides opportunities and we have to seek it.
What kind of
provide opportunities?
That we face. It gave us an opportunity to reach out to our public and our people in a way that...
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. If the COVID-19 give them a chance for
opportunities.
People couldn't come on street. People couldn't come. Remember them a patrol and take people off the street. So what kind of outreach him do with people?
Well, I 200,000 for one mask. One woman pay 400,000. That woman must pay 700,000. For mash up people and step on them. Opportunities.
People in them yard. I mean, and the police are patrol the streets to make sure so nobody is on the street. I mean, if they use it as an opportunity to outreach.
Give them opportunities. No, I mean, I tell us
the outreach when probably I talk about is the outreach when the brother come on and start cuss the prime minister and the outreach them outreach them go and reach out for the brother and I'm in bed and drag him out. But that's the outreach we talk about.
Opportunities. And it's these opportunities that we have to seek in any crisis that we face. It gave us an opportunity to reach out to our public and our people in a way that is perhaps not normal.
It's never normal for you. Then get broke up and the woman and her son so just at him name neck. When them people, them say the perhaps it's never normal. It's never normal, brother. People have a mass, you look up at a center mass at 400,000 the woman have to pay. Them man, hey, are the commissioner this, you know? A police, you know? Yeah, man.
It allowed us to do our law enforcement role, but at the same time, our public safety, our public support role.
Public safety?
You see my smile. You see him right. They've got a right smile. WRY.
Critical role.
Yes.
Yeah, that's serious, man.
This has led to better intelligence, better information, and better relationships with people.
I'm not know, man. I'm a dream, you know. I'm a cream, I'm going to better. I said, cooks this. No care what kind of interview. But the man, when we do is go up with duct tape on his mouth when he stand on mic. And just look. And not say nothing. So I'm not giving no ammunition. Because when I do, every time him open his mouth, you know, he dig on himself. And I first him do this, you know, brother. Him continue for doing it.
When this finish, I want you to play the one where him there the function.
You know, I said that's what I made. I saw me know.
It means that we can provide a mechanism for people to take care of their own security.
Buck said
people must take care of their own security.
No, man, the care manager. I want your body. Yo, where say?
No, this is a joke.
So hold on. So if you go say that, no, we know. When a man take up your earth, a man and him do a revenge thing, I'm one security, brother. You hear this, Ratty?
Yeah, people must know to take care of their own security.
That's why they might do it. Yeah, and the commissioner said to do it, you know. And the commissioner, you tell the people them to deal with them own security. You go trouble a man, a rob a man, a retaliate, or do something. And that him say, you know. And me say it, you know, you know. Let me play it back. Hold on.
We can provide a mechanism for people to take care of their own security.
This one I know
assisted
right.
by us and working with us.
Do you take care of your own security? That them do.
And that unity, that stronger together that we spoke about over this COVID period.
That unity stronger together we speak about. Oh man, yo, $18 million this. 18 million.
Is a reality for the relationship between the Jamaica Constabulary Force and our public.
It's a reality for the relationship. What kind of relationship?
No man. Listen, that's why I'm telling you, say, we never want that job there. Me say, I'm not interested in the power or position. The man mash up the place, you know. He mash up the organization. Anybody who go inside and say, no, look, them can't take no outside and they don't have to take a man who the rank and file trust and believe in and faith, and then have to go try and rebuild. They have to go rebuild it. The man mash it up.
It mash up completely, man. It gone. It gone.
Building, which will incorporate in it technologies, which will provide spaces where people can come and relate to the police in privacy. And that puts a burden on us.
If a station, you relate to police in privacy and that put a burden on us. It can't be a burden on them work. Oh, what am I say? Well, let me hear what I say again. Yo, the man just don't make him speak. Hey, them have to give him teleprompter, you know. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to mash it up, you know. Yeah.
Privacy. And that puts a burden on us.
Hold on there, man.
It's a reality for the relationship between
the man mash up the
Constabulary Force.
Yeah, where you say about it?
He mash up the opening of police station. He mash up funeral. He mash up social events. Everywhere he go, the man mash up.
He shut up funeral. At 39 gun salute him funeral, you know. No way it's in the world, you know. And him no business, you know. Just make the man them go. I'll say, man, wearing shoes, but I'm a drop off. Them go, the man that shoot up people funeral. Him dangerous, man. Look here.
And our public.
Hear this.
And this new building, which will incorporate in it technologies, which will provide spaces where people can come and relate to the police in privacy. And that puts a burden on us. Also, how we handle information and the people's information to honor and protect that privacy.
We must say put burden on us. They're not police. That put burden on us. This is embarrassing. And both spaces. You know, you can't talk to police in privacy. Put technology, and you have the spaces to talk to police in privacy. And
first
that
thing,
burden on us.
the first thing is this. You don't want your informants or your sources coming to the police station. That's the first thing. Because people might see them. You don't want that. You want your detectives who they wear plain clothes. You want them to meet their sources elsewhere, somewhere away from the police station.
That's it.
You don't want them come to the police station and people see them come in and go out. Because this is probably near a population center. This is probably near a population center. Yeah. And people see them going, you don't want that, Mr. Major General Anthony and this Commissioner of Police. No, sir. No, sir. I am very convinced. I am supremely convinced that, sir, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking. How can you have a police station in a population center and say people must come in and talk to the police in private spaces? And you know Jamaica State, the informer for dead mentality, and people see them go in and come out. How that's supposed to work? You tell the detective, listen, if you have a good source, and you have a good source, and the source in a St. Thomas, and in a St. Thomas, you tell the source, hey, wait though, jump on a bus, I'm going to meet you in a Kingston. Meet at this location. That's how you do it. You not do it in a place with people. You just set people up to get killed. And that's why I tell people say you must get your own security, you know.
Yeah, I'm saying them be them own security team up and but people are do it now. Because if you go trouble a man and you go hurt a man go retaliate him, not go to the police, I'm on security man put up.
I can't believe the things that me are here.
Go on.
We put in as a model in these police stations things like disabled access or less abled access.
Yeah.
It should be an important feature of any modern facility. As the officers who occupy the building, we have to also look at the persons who come to us who are less able and assist. As we provide better accommodation, allow for persons to have a place where they can recreate, refresh, and get back on the job.
Backside. Well, I know. I'm not talking what kind of person, recreation, and refresh and get back on the job. Let me hear this.
What happens on the job should reflect that.
Well,
that you have been renewed, and so you can do renewed things as you get on the job.
Renewed things.
We are moving from this idea that the front of a police station needs a guard room. It doesn't. It needs a reception area.
But that's not a reception area. I say I want the piece of this team. It's a guard room that same way. That's not a reception area. That now have some seating, there's some nice things in there and everything. You know. That's not a reception area. That's a guard room same way. Just to go to the place, look, man. Where am I say, man? You ever say a reception area, man?
To facilitate our people coming.
You know, you have a reception area, you know, you have the nice table there, you have your little books them where you can read and everything. Like when you go in a doctor's office and them have the little reception area, nice and everything.
With the coffee table and the books.
Yes. And you have the thing where you can read and you can, you know, you have the little water thing, you can get the little water, you look. Them not have that. You must have a reception area. See if you can ask the guard room. Yeah.
And engaging us. Our second pillar, which is transformation. Make no mistake. The force is going through a transformation. Policing in the country is going to change and is changing.
And the
results of it is that crime is also going to change and go down. It's not good that you can start a career as a police officer and at the end of your career, you're not clear on how much, knowing all the work you've put in, all the effort, what has happened, what has changed. Have things changed for the better?
Hold on.
Garbage him talk.
Hold on. Him said don't make a mistake. But this don't make a mistake. Don't make a mistake. And this is not a mistake. He might talk about people putting all the time and all that stuff. Why don't promote the people them? He has the power to promote people on the spot up to sergeant.
Yes.
He has the power to do that. Why is it that money we're supposed to promote people with get turned back into the budget, into the treasury every year? Why? Why don't promote the people? Why is it to have a corporal out there for 20 years? 20 years a corporal. And the man in work, the man and woman I work hard day and night, and they not recognize. And they must send back money when get money for promote the people them. Him no need the Police Services Commission. Him no need the National Security Minister, Prime Minister to do these kind of promotions. Why don't do that? Why?
And he must say when you work after and then you not see nothing like say you're police and you put in the work, but when you come out now, you know, like he must say when you look on the and you look, you don't know what. Me don't know what he must say now.
But look. Him dead for what 4 years now. I want to say nothing.
Nothing. It get worse. Him say mama, he might change it for the worse. Him say it,
you know, hey, but there's something. You know, one of the things where him should have lucky about so far, him should have thank him lucky stars that approximately 12,000 people left Jamaica.
Yeah.
Him should have lucky. And people still kill people. 12,000 people, about 12,000 people left.
I'm more than that too, you know, when you think about it, I'm more than that. Yeah, I'm more than that. Every minute they run away. And if them never run enough gunman and thing gone in it, you know.
Then that me talk about.
So if him talk about me gone this and that, 3 people them leave. And him try to stop them and carry them back, you know. I tell people stop them. You might put out and say, is that smuggling and carry them back? That means more people for dead, man. Because if them leave, most of them are run out because what them are do. And them are run out.
Listen.
Him not make them go on.
No, listen, him not mean that. Because if them come back is more problem for him. He have to say that because of
the book. And I call the contract to turn them back.
No, they have to say that because it's politically correct. But what happens is that them really don't want them people. Them don't want the troublemakers them to come back. Them don't want them come back. Because they have to go police them. It's a problem.
Enough of them run gone. If them never gone, a more problem.
When you can look back at old headlines and they're as relevant as they were then now. That's not the change that we're after.
Where the headline come from? When you look on the old headline and they're relevant as then now. Where that come from?
So we, as a force, our commitment is to recalibrate, to make sure that a person's career starts one way, and at the end of your career, you can say, yes, I made a difference.
Yeah, but with the promotion, with the promotion, with the promotion.
Aye. No promotion.
A community and a society that I can go into and retire in peace, safety, and feeling good about what my contribution was. So
you know the contribution, sir. Don't it? Listen, me play that one because this ask me what in contribution?
No, man. No, you know what happened? We have to expose the foolishness. No, man, make it play it, man. Let me hear some more nonsense.
We're recalibrating.
Thank you. Thank you. I try to save you, but you don't. Well, hey, man, when you listen to me now, you just say, no, man, but this is a serious thing. I'm going to give you that one.
Look, him can't think on him feet, man. He's a poor public speaker. Him can't think on him feet.
Well,
I would have loved to catch him. I would have loved to get him for my program for just do reason with Rattigan and talk to him. We don't even want to send him to your town hall, no, because
no, you don't do that again. I don't even want to say make him ear car, but you do. Just say no, man, everything good, and then me just creep into the back door, there, you know. And when him there on it, I with him teeth and I say what circles. No, from him hear that him to say me, you know. Me know say him stuck, you know. You must stuck in a ratty. For me drop in a place, you know, say I just said there, you know. All in pop loose, you know. Because for me, you want Sir Googs, you know. You know the place so good at you know.
And from here, me start laugh, then them know. Yeah. Right, said, if look around and see you, then them said, no time for me to leave now.
You know, because I got them to say, you can't move, you know. Me never say Google Gaga, you know. Me say, what Sir Googs, you know. Yeah? Sir Googs. Say, you should have say yes, boom, bam, bam, and then we start knocking me to look a question. Because I know him can't answer it, you know. There is no way my answer will straight. No way. Because these are the great Sir Googs. The great Sir Googs. And what we answer Sir Googs great. But when I say Ratty, me not understand the 400. Oh, that are work, Ratty. No, but a law enforcement way now.
No, well, you're talking. No, one way it can work is just like what them do with guns. You know, so some policemen have them personally own weapons. So them have them when them sign up, when them come on duty, them check out a gun out of the station, and when them finish them duty, them check it back in. Them check it in, and then them go home without no gun. Because them can't afford to buy a gun. And the government not issue them a gun.
So everybody got the pound of one camera because you go up on it and you turn it on. And
believe me, them camera they got broke down in no time. The amount I use them will get them all broke down.
So that means you no go out to your camera with tape. With one man, next man get your camera. But you just go up and go up on the road and them thing there. So that now in a ratty. Yeah? 400 camera. You have to about around 13,000. So, alright, so a batch of people go out. Oh, that work ratty. A one man to like 5 man to one camera.
Mm-hmm.
Like one man with the camera and then the other best never on. But that not a work ratty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yep.
It can't work. That can't work, man. And them proud of it. But where I say with the money, Dr. C, National Security Minister, Dr. C. The 170 billion where you say you spend how much camera and then when you get something free and
no man, you don't play the other one, no man.
I'm draw for the other one there. You know, more mash up Dr. C, we draw for the other one. Move some of them things out of my way. Move some of them things out of my way fast. Yeah, man. Dr. C. Dr. C, I forgot answer we Narati. Yeah, man, Dr. C, I forgot answer, man. Dr. C, you have to answer, because this is what we not understand. Zane? This is what we not understand. I'm going to draw for that one, yeah. Nothing open up one place in everything. I'm going to draw over this and drop it on.
Yeah, right. Man, the one where him never
have it right.
Yeah. When I'm a sister and she, right, that's the boy, she said it just serious and it's funny at the same time. Oh, we are critique the man's speech, you know?
And it's serious.
And somebody else right and said the speech short on substance. It's all catchphrases him use.
But another substance, that's bag garbage.
No substance. Somebody, yeah.
See, John?
Right. When you slow down that one, you know.
How can each city?
When you slow down that one, you know. Make everybody hear the question and she ask him, you know.
All right, what
talk to us, please, about the Jamaica you want to see, and how can each citizen, how can each Jamaican, whether yard or abroad, contribute to the security of Jamaica?
Stop. So she asked him, how can each Jamaican, whether yard or abroad, contribute to the security of Jamaica? So the question now, he must talk about how the people in Jamaica can help to deal with the crime problem, help the police to crime, and then they must come down and talk about how the people in the diaspora can help.
Yes.
So keep she ask him one question, but it has two parts to it. One, the question is one, and then A underneath it is at home and B abroad. All right.
And how we can contribute, to betterment, right? All right. Okay. All right.
You know, I go through life being grateful and blessed.
Yes.
And I come at everything from that direction. Grateful and blessed, and I'm grateful and blessed to be a part of this Star program. And beyond that, although I didn't come here, as you say, with the commissioner hat.
Stop. You kill me. Stop. You kill me. I am grateful and blessed. Right? Some people don't like when we mimic them, you know, but we have to mimic them. Because you cannot believe, say, you have a police commissioner who will answer a question like this. You hear the man say, Jamaica is in a constant crime wave. And the man said, I didn't know where my police commissioners had to come here tonight. You are the police.
I'm blessed.
I'm grateful and blessed. But I didn't know where my commissioners had tonight. If you're the police commissioner of Jamaica at least when he made that statement, you are the commissioner 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, holiday, Sunday, birthday, Christmas day, every day. And you know what funny? There is a video of him Christmas day out and say my patrol and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
Right? So why is it no? And then in a police commissioner, why is it that a police commissioner wants to ask him this question?
So what the commissioner right now? What the police commissioner right now? When him there, sir. And him, kind of way they at him with the police, him not come as police commissioner here, sir. So, and him at the commissioner, who are the commissioner?
I'm gonna see me.
Governor, it was me, you know.
Because you want me to say it wasn't me. Because when I'm dressed like this, I'm in the uniform. If me a police commissioner, brother.
Of course.
Me a police commissioner. Right? Rewind that with the people here where him said that at that point in time when him did a function, he man a police commissioner. He's not police commissioner.
And I come at everything from that.
Contribute to the security of Jamaica.
So, you know, I go through life being grateful and blessed.
Yes.
And I come at everything from that direction. grateful and blessed, and I'm grateful and blessed to be a part of this. Of
3
Star
times him
Program.
say it.
And beyond that, although I didn't come here, as you say, with the commissioner hat, but I feel grateful and blessed to be leading the JCF at this time.
Nobody never asked that.
It's a tough time for us.
Yes.
Tough time.
Yes.
But I'm grateful and blessed to be
5.
doing it. You know why? Because somebody has to be the rock for those.
You know, rock, dumb, you know, you can't talk to rock. I can't talk back to you. Somebody have to be the rock. Me not talk to them rock, you know. Somebody have to be the rock. But me go and listen.
Police officers out there who every day are in the community, engaging the community.
Stop there.
In a way.
The one them who not give no resources. Right?
Mm.
If I talk about them now, I talk about police officers out there engaging the community, in the community. The people them who not get body camera, gun,
Yes.
vehicle, pepper spray, collapsible baton, the people them who not get uniform.
The shoes,
the uniform, right? The good working conditions, good pay. Them that the people I talk about now, you know.
Yes.
Them that the people I talk about. And them that the people in not promote.
Them him not promote. You promote the little pata cat one day, but not them. The service commission, police commission, it's for scrap, you know. Because all them do is drop some pata cat and some people are politically aligned. We talk truth around here, you know, we don't worry about nothing, you know. We don't know the renegade. You know, we don't color code on the road here. We just chat as is. Yeah? Yeah, man. The world knows that we're good fight out. around that, so we never put people.
Well, I know, and R&R don't mean rest and relaxation either.
No.
It don't mean that.
And the renegade and the rebel.
Yeah, we're not resting and relaxing around here. No.
Yes. All right. Yeah, watch this.
That caused and attracted the attention of the private sector.
Yes.
To join with us, to continue and build on that relationship we have with the community.
They have a good relationship with which community? They matter the uptown community, the private sector community, not the ghetto. You hear this? Build on what they have with the community. Yeah, you know.
The truth of the matter is,
the truth.
When the cameras are gone, when there are no interviews, when the schools are shut, for the night, we are there and the people are there. We experience their pain.
They're where? Patrol the schools?
When the schools are shut, we are there and the people are there. We experience them pain. We experience them pain. And now we are cause of pain. Remember, you know, are the same question in my answer, you know? I know I'm not answer the question, you know, better. I know, you know. You so far we gone?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just hear this again. The school, when the camera gone, our camera get involved. you just want, brother. No, I know. You know, this is the same question. Eh?
I'll camera with no buy, get involved.
The man attack something. Well, let me hear you.
When the schools are shut,
schools
for the night, we are there and the people are there. We experience their pain and we see it firsthand. So even on our dark days and our rough times, we are reaching out to support communities. I think this STAR initiative is a way of expanding that. It has a natural synergy with what we do. I have 100+ youngsters down in Westmoreland from all over the country going through a process, a camp with us.
Yes.
And
I have 200+ school resource officers in schools mentoring youngsters.
With all the fighting we're going.
Since the beginning of the year. So what I'm saying, we are problem solvers.
Yes.
What?
And when we see a problem in a community, we want to fix it because we see the result when it is not fixed.
Uncle Anthony, I must ask you because I know Jamaicans are.
Go back there, look on the man, look on him. Let the man say, where the man come from? Go back there.
No, but
look on the man, look on the man.
Brother, the man attack for more than 2 minutes and be a crap and not answer the. What she ask him? What she ask him?
Ask him about community involvement to address the crime issues in Jamaica and
what
from
kind
abroad.
Of abroad. What kind of Jamaica they like to see?
Yeah.
And I know not answer the question.
Look on the man when sit down to him right. Look on the man when sit down to his
problems. Right. It has a natural synergy with what we do. I have 100+ youngsters down in Westmoreland from all over the country. Going through a process, camp with us.
That man right in.
I have 200+ school resource officers in schools mentoring youngsters.
Brother, go on, know what they do and, you know, for help out. And when I talk, I don't answer the question. I want if him listen back, him I watch it. But no, say him I watch it. Sir Googs. Yes, sir. But I better you leave the seat, man. Don't, it's embarrassing. Yeah, man.
Look at the brother next to you, man.
Since the beginning of the year. So what I'm saying, we are problem solvers.
Yes.
And when we see a problem in a community, we want to fix it because we see the result when it is not fixed.
Uncle Anthony, I must ask you, because I know Jamaicans at home and abroad are saying, Miss Kitty, talk the things, ask him the right question. Ask him, Miss Kitty, ask him. A lot of Jamaicans don't trust the police. And some may argue for good reason.
Yeah.
What is Uncle Anthony doing so that we can re-energize and galvanize that trust between police and citizen, where I want to be a citizen for good? I'm going to want to know so I can call the police and my name now call back.
Right.
Because otherwise, I now call nobody name because my name I got call back. If I want to be a Jamaican star and I want to be a part of Project Star so that everybody forward, I want to know that I have a police force that I can trust.
Okay. So
there are bad people and good people in every sector. But tell me, Uncle Anthony, who not deal with it?
Here's a little reasoning.
Yes.
So
a little reason. I answer why I answer. If you're not what she does, so she flood him too much. Come here, him answer yourself.
Is there, I haven't come across many people who don't trust at least one police officer.
What am I talking
about?
What am I say? Yeah. And him now come
shut up with the police.
Most people have one somewhere in the force that they trust.
True.
Yeah.
So if we have 2 million of them who trust one, I wonder how many are really trustworthy.
What am I? No, we can't manage. Yo,
hold on. She asked him about the police force, She asked him about the police force. She talked about the community of police force. He might talk about one police. You see that man no sense, man?
About just one. The one, and maybe as for the son or somebody, we don't know people who are talking about out there in the street. It does not make no sense. I'm going to hear him.
Him have a pint?
Okay.
Him have a pint.
Let me make another.
Have no pint.
No pint at all. So, no pencil pint. Pen pint. No pint.
In every survey that is done,
the
trust for the police who are in the community is there's like a 20 to 25% spread between the trust for them higher than the national force. You know what that means?
Foolishness attack, in your community.
Him just don't cut him throat, because him in charge of the national force, and he must say if you have one police in some community, the thing higher. It's supposed to be high for the police force as a whole.
Right.
Him in charge.
All right. You hear what I'm saying? All right. Yeah. And 25% higher than the outside.
Oh, by the way, hold on. No, before you start it there. Let me ask a question. Is this the same man that them do a survey and him say man 91% disapproval rating?
It could 91, but I must 100. Well, if do something I get 103 the other day. So I must 103. Can't get over 100%. You do something I get over 100% the other day,
What, disapproval?
No, he might calculate up something. You stop at 100%. He calculate that kind of 100 So I not even understand that. Because I can't do maths, so I not understand him,
Isn't this the man who if I talk about survey? Isn't this the man who them do a survey and them say 91% disapproval rating?
I must him say man. Yeah.
Who you feel one way about.
Yeah.
And who you hear about, you feel another way about.
True.
So that's a very curious thing.
Curious? You might have used someone. Who you feel one way a police matter about. When them know police, most I get a youth and them know that man, majority of the time, through the kind of disrespect and go lock up, them not trust him, them mother not trust him, them sister, nobody not trust him. Me not ask you. Saying, you know who you don't know, you feel the next way about them. Yeah, say, who me a star police and them thing there. Them not just trust you like that. No. Yeah.
But let me tell you, just last thing, and we'll move on.
Uncle Anthony come for talk, he might talk.
Hold on.
But well, listen, because that's a part of the reasoning. We have to listen and understand and exchange. Yes, sir.
So we know that domestic violence is a big thing. in Jamaica. We see the result when it goes unchecked, when the first quarrel isn't dealt with.
Yeah, no.
So, as we said, we solve problems.
Dealt with. So what we do, we go and we deal with it. As we said, we solve problem.
Just last year, we put in 6 additional. We're up to 10 domestic violence centers. The domestic violence centers in Jamaica are police centers.
Yes.
We trained our managers to manage that and to coordinate the efforts of all of society.
For me to say domestic violence center, them don't have no money around it, brother. Me can show the article.
Hold on a second. Domestic violence. Let me give him another violence. Child abuse. Them are work on that. How about the man where molest all of the picnic, them little white man and run away and gone. And nobody, police them no hold on upon him, even though people knew what was going on.
Yes.
How about that?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. We do counseling and give these medical services to come and provide a service. 2,900 cases since the beginning of this year have we dealt with in those centers. How many of them would have turned out otherwise? These are the officers who do this day in, day out, and they get no credit for it.
A force for God.
That's why I feel.
None of them get no credit. You do your job. I'll be a foolish system attack. The woman said them they have nothing, brother. Them not have no budget. Them don't. Hey, this are no commissioner people when I feel work with here.
Blessed and grateful to be their boss.
You hear again? You hear? That's why Jamaica stay so. Turn on the mic. Turn up your mic.
So the thing again, graceful and blessed. Grateful and blessed.
Yes.
6 times him say it, that.
Yeah. Boy, the amount of time, brother, I can't even count. Boy, I tell you, the amount of time I can't even count. It's unbelievable. Eh? Commissioner, Deputy Prime Minister, and National Security Minister. National Security Minister, Dr. Crab. You can't come and go on.
Well, I know. A very dear friend of the show and a very dear friend of mine said that we must stop criticizing man because it might look like we are carrying belly theme. But let me explain something about that belly carrying business. When you cannot be a Jamaican, whether in Jamaica or outside of Jamaica, and look at what the police commissioner is doing and not say the things that we are saying. Somebody just writing that one of the chat said the man is slow. Them saying him look very slow. Yes. I mean, when you can't answer some simple questions put to you, he mentioned 6 times grateful and blessed in that one little clip there that you show. 6 times grateful and blessed. Yes. The speech that you show me that, and him also said that him don't answer the questions, and him say him don't wear police hat. Him not wearing the police commissioner's hat at that function.
Yes.
And then you show him one way where the police commissioner's hat, and him have a speech that's partially written, and him still can't deliver it. No, how can you not comment on it? And it's worth because you know the problem is when them say, well, Caribbean, the problem is that we're trying to reinforce this idea into people that look, hold your leaders accountable. We cannot just say one thing and make the man get where we have to point it out and keep reinforcing it.
Of course. And this is garbage. When I talk garbage.
Yeah, have to reinforce it. Because see, this is exactly why stories come to die in Jamaica, you know. Stories anywhere else we would continue, they die in Jamaica because what happens is that we're satisfied with just somebody criticizing it once and then we move on. That's what we've become.
Yes.
That's what we've become. We become a pathetic nation where we just satisfied with one explanation, one criticism, and then we say, okay, it's overtaken by another story. And then we'll move to the other story, we get distracted. Look at what happened when them seized the cocaine out in St. Mary.
Yes.
A few days after, the Prime Minister said, I'm going out to St. Catherine to destroy. We're sending people out there to destroy home. And then all of a sudden people stop talking about the cocaine. That is when we are talking about.
We not let it go, you know, because Bailey come out and say, yes, we have an arrest, but we work out the papers. Amount gone already. This a cocaine from last year. That means you know who. And I know the man don't make an arrest.
Look on SSL. Them have 1 arrest out of SSL.
Yes.
1 arrest out of SSL.
But
right?
I know too much billion gone.
Yeah.
And them not talk, no director them not chat to, I know.
And them claims say arrests are forthcoming. You know, people all get arrested. And by the way, they mention say my former agents FBI involved, and with the FBI involvement and with the JCF CTAC involvement and all of the involvement, them only arrest one person. And remember this, that them come out and when Mr. Mac whatever his name, them say that, oh, the FBI not involved in another piece there because that is a local thing with the lady, as if they try to divorce the piece of the investigation from the main investigation. And so when me see now is that the FBI come in and help, because them said the FBI no help with that case. So when come in now, them come in and make my agency look like say we useless because we come in and we're there for so long and nobody no get arrested. Nobody. And this case here right now, them should arrest people and flip people. They arrest people and have them flip and talk about who do what, when, where, why, how. Right? So that's why it's important for us to, and I mean, we're going to beat this in a people, and people who don't like it, get used to it. We're going to do reinforcement around here.
You know why? Because some of them don't like it. So, you know, let me tell you something. Because when you have some people where they must sweat some big sweat or drop perspiration or drop off of them everywhere we talk, you know. So you see, because when you pull some string, you know, it will expose some other people, you know, curtain will drop on some other people are exposed. So when you hear them say, oh, when you go check them CV, maybe them collect around this and them do something too, and it connect to them. So most of the time when them chat, you know, them guilty of something, you know. So me I watch them, because when you want to clean up a place for dirty, and anybody come and want to reject something and find something, say, we could try to get them, throw them off and say something, if throw them off. That means we have to look out for that person. They make more of them a suspect too, you know. Because if you want to clean up your house and you know say it run bad, you have to come up and join it and say make you clean it. It run too bad for you. And if you don't do that, you are suspect in our book. We're not stupid, you know. Because them now show we have like how the Prime Minister show we have go leak down people's house. Him not show we have, him show off some other people. Where you SSL them show off. You understand? And like how they make giant statement, they feed and what have you. Can you imagine McCracken, him a run CTAC, them under a career police. And then come out and then you say, them come out and say, oh, him did make a mistake. And they make sure talk to him and him not come up in him mouth. Man, McCracken, you make them throw you under the bus, you know. You make them throw you under the bus. Because you know, come defend yourself. So me know say them throw you under the bus. Eh? When if you stop make people throw you under the bus.
Look.
Yes, man.
Look, we can't sit by idly while we watch Roma burn, meaning Jamaica burn up with the nonsense and the incompetence, and we'll watch it burn, and we'll not continue to force this thing, and we need to keep it on a daily basis. Look on the woman where them kill, but with the policeman, where them claims that the policeman killed the girl there.
The little school girl.
Yeah, well, not that on the school girl, the one where them claims that the man killed and him throw the sofa. The police brother, man.
Him. Yes.
Yeah, what the girl name?
I forgot her. What's the name again? I forgot her name, but we know about her.
But what I say is that when last you hear anything about that case?
No.
When last you hear anything about that case?
Nothing.
Me can tell about some cases.
When last you hear about the case from when they mash up the place, them catch the Prime Minister, the principal of the school where the Prime Minister name constituency. We move where man she cut with bad. What we don't hear about the case?
When last you hear about the case? When them kill the little youth where they in the truck with the mother out of Western Jamaica.
See them lower to go come a foreign. And then them say, oh, we're lock her up. You lower to make she fly. And then you say, oh, you lock her up, but she have
when I see about them cases there. When I see about them cases there. When I see the development on them cases there.
When I see about the $12 billion about a coke, where you know it's a small piece. 3 big coke boss. You hear them talk about them?
Right.
It value billions, over $16 billion that. What a coke boss. You hear about them?
When last you hear about the plane that crash land or out of thing? I know you're not more about it. When last?
The same man come and say, police now we're not interested. If you are fly a plane, if me a fly my plane, I have a private plane. I'm a crash land in some other place, I want back my plane. Me now go run from the port, me I want go a doctor. Me just crash land and I'm alive. Me nearly last. So what me I do, I want them come carry me a doctor and then you know camera can come talk to me. We never know what have you. Everybody disappear. We don't know said come from Mexico. It license to Mexico. Then we don't hear nothing. Oh, we're done with it, you know. We don't need it.
The last thing we
Everything
heard,
alright.
was when the Minister of National Security said that the people that were on board the aircraft have left the island. And we said,
Oh,
hold on
them
a
know
second.
that.
How do you know that?
So when they send them away, oh, them know, so them left the island. Eh? You can have a country run like this. Them not say we not find them, you know, them left the island. Don't intercept them, carry them in, hold them, why we not run far?
At the very least, hold them for immigration violation. Them
That
in
is it.
Jamaica without authorization. At the very least.
Because them run, you know. Because if you crash, you no run. You know, people are come, them are come rescue, you know. And check on out if we get to the broken bone or anything. But them crash and something and them
disappear.
Hospital or nothing. Disappear. Eh? You know, how much you are playing? You think a $5,000, $10,000 for the plane to fly? That's one of the plane seed valuable. It will fly. And if you go and if it don't want it, that means something, a cargo that carry or something.
And keep in mind,
yes,
one of the hallmarks of a drug plane is that certain instrument panels, certain instrumentation out of it, gone. For example, where's the black box on that plane? Where's the black box?
It's me. I said them go tell it register. We don't know. And them say it register to in a Mexico, but them tell we who. Them keep it away from us.
And them say some of the seats have been gone out of the plane.
Yes.
Them say some of the seats have been gone. Not the ones that with them thief out, because them thief out, the people them take out some of them, you know, but them say some of the things, them look on the plane and say this plane look like it carry drugs, because some of the things it bear the hallmarks of a plane where them use for ship drugs, transport drugs all over the place. And it landed, I wouldn't hear nothing more about it.
Nothing.
You know, more. I wouldn't have not talk about the whole heap of double murder and triple murder they were going. I wouldn't hear nothing more about them. We don't hear nobody get caught and gone to prison.
But the same commissioner said the people them do their own security. So if a man come hurt somebody fear that me, you go for them and you do your thing to them, because they must say you have to do your own security. And that it mean. Because people are telling, if you talk to some youth and get to them tell us, say, yo, me now make him hurt my people, we're going to retaliate. Why you think so much retaliation?
Well,
get justice.
Well, I know. Look, warm today, we don't hear nothing more about I think of the Romanians with them arrest down a 3 mile where we'll have the skimming device where some device where them are use and I take money from out of the back. When I see about the case where them have the Chinese up in a cherry gardens where them find with a whole bundle of skimming devices and all kind of, you hear nothing more about that?
No. And then when them go lock up, them go down one of them Chinese place and them go see one place alone have over 300 million fake goods. Without engineer and everything, you know. And you're going to say, oh, them have to report. But if it was the next youth of it, you have to report, you go see it. You lock him up and forget the youth. If him have just one little backlog thing and you know, say, okay, it's a stolen thing, this. They're going to take you up. But them have fake thing, or it come through the wharf. From them, they come through the wharf. You check every one of them Chinese places, I'll be a fake goods. When you make them a rob with Jamaican people, and want no business about it.
When I see about Bureau standards, I check out some of the Chinese products where them bring for people eat and things like that, for test them and things like that. But then again, you can't trust them because remember, them said the rice good enough. And them they said the rice good enough.
But them just come in at the thing. I believe just come yesterday and I say, the whole of the rice bad. You say 137 importers and one source and the whole of the rice bad. That means including the minister who won them too. Because him said right bad. We're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to write up and show me. Not my say. Not our say. Him say it. Eh?
I mean.
Yeah, man. So we see Jamaica gone bad. Anybody, you used to come and say, you know, them a do this. That mean them benefit from some kickbacks or something. And them a look somebody for, you know, a show off. Now, going to work around here. It's not going to work. Done, you know. Ratty?
Yes, my brother.
Ratty? We're going to wrap them up, you know, because, you know, make them stay there. We're going to wrap them up, man.
Yeah, Donnelly Donaldson.
Donnelly, yes.
Yeah, and Noel Maitland. We don't hear nothing more about that, you know? Nothing more. And they may have like around another dozen cases like this where we don't hear nothing more about. And then we have to sit back now. We have to sit back and not talk about, because at the end of the day, you know, the police commissioner is responsible. That's why them pay him the big money, you know, 18 million, right? I would love not more than to see this man being a success. But this man has,
he
has demonstrated over the time that he's been there that he's a monumental failure, not just a failure, a monumental failure.
I tell you, man. But look on Kevin Smith now, when him started the fear around, everybody, one of them hug him up. And then this white van does come and knock him and we say, who did I drive it? No, when you look, someone sit down.
Yeah, what happened to that there?
No. You know, remember, you know, charge him, you know. So you can't say him do this and that, him tell somebody do this and them do it.
And why you moving from Mobile to go Kingston go get
charge him? That means he must not, you know, charge him. You have everything down there. And it well put together that them not on film side, but them juke him already, you know. Because let me tell you, when your heart stop beat, it stop pump. If a man cut you now, go see blood run like that because your heart not bleeding. Ask any doctor, make carry a doctor, make them talk to you about it. Yeah? So when your heart stop beat, stop pump, the blood stop run. You notice him get knocked up and you not see no blood and like you get into an injury and you choke. And them sacrifice the police so that
yeah, police.
Of course, there are two know that them don't remember nothing. Yeah? And matter of fact, you know, when them have a camera, them have a video with Ratty. When it come to the stoplight and it just knock up the road and there's a police car there, stand up so, a van, and it runs to the stoplight.
All right, my brethren from Chilani just sent me a thing. He said one camera, it average one camera for 32 officers.
One camera. So 32 of them not go to one place. So you have one camera and an officer around this do anything and do all of them and you have one camera for one come up now for your video. This don't make no sense. Eh? It don't make no sense. Them sick. These are sick heads.
Another person right said, look, she said, you cannot even answer a simple question, let alone managing crime. You can't answer a simple question.
No, it's a Google.
As to how to engage the local population and diaspora population to address crime issues. You can't address that. You can't. So how you going to manage crime?
You ask him when that do fit, and he must say when the camera gone up and the school lock, I'm there and we're feeding your pain.
Some people get educated and them also get entertained at the same time. When I'm a dear friends in my belly and she did with love. Yeah.
Well, it bad, brother. This bad. Yeah? This bad, man.
Well, my brother, we don't know what to say now. We don't know what to say. But you know what? Luther continue out. The fight, the struggle continues. We have to keep on doing it because this is my passion now, you know. This is my passion. Yeah. And me now
listen, I could tell them that if anything around there, so we gotta expose it. We don't worry about nothing around here. And we are put that in, we encourage the people them to come out, you know, and talk up to, you know.
Yeah, man.
Because remember them work phone, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, them are servant of the people. We not talk about my boss, we not business about that. Them are servant.
And we have some, we need some people send me some information. People start come out now at the woodwork and start provide information and give information about what going on. So, but what we do, we don't take information and just throw it out like that. We take information and we vet the information. Maybe 2 or 3 other sources. We vet it to make sure it's correct. So when we come to you and we say, we know, say this happened, trust and believe that we know that. Just like I'm telling us, we know, say, the Honorable Minister, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith did not file with the Ministry of the Ministry of Finance and Public Service on or before March 30th. And that is not an allegation or me a guess or not like that. Me 100% sure that she didn't. And how me know? Because the government tell me that she didn't.
All right. And she herself, she said she never mentioned the money. She never mentioned that money at all.
Right.
And she says transparent and everything, not our word.
And look, Monday she got served. Tuesday she come out and Tuesday them not show nothing. Wednesday them not show nothing. Tomorrow we're going to say them are going to have the press conference and show a document say that she did file. Who wants to see that? And if she don't do it, because we still are digging now, we're not stopping now. We still are digging and we are waiting for information for coming in. So every day, like we said, death by 1,000 cuts. Because every day as we get it, we are going to press it out to people so they can understand, say, we really mean business. We're serious about this. And at the end of the day, we are going, if it's determined by the Integrity Commission that she did not file, that she did not account for the $99,000, we are going to put pressure on Integrity Commission, particularly the corruption prosecutor. We're going to put pressure on the prosecutor and say, listen, we want you to bring charges against her. And now, guess what? Them can't use abuse of process now as no defense. No abuse, because this just happened. So them can't have one abuse of process, you know. And we're going to ask to set an example, the Singaporean style, and, and ask for this lady to be imprisoned for 2 years.
I'm going to tell you something. Them always use that. The politician, them. When you see Singapore and them come adapt our thing. And
always use that.
So we fear adapt back the style. I mean, I tell you, say them don't even have thing over there, but yet still them successful. Them buy raw material and do them thing. We have backside, we have other things, we have resources. But our one I got to waste. We don't see the backside, one of the backside company change and for $1. Yeah? Why they never change it and give back to the government of Jamaica? We could do something and give to a businessman. Give back to the community for the $1 now. Them give back, them give to them friend. That's okay.
I can't tell them people why Lonesome today we have a lot of things to do, you know, right? I'm back up right now, because I have a deadline for me. But so I don't know if I'll come up on a more program before Saturday. But if I get information, rest assured, I'll come forward. If I get information, I'll come
forward. I can tell them
forward.
something. The amount of two me have to mix with the socks. When I'm going to go do some things there for me and thing. And I send them. Because I have no work, you know. But you see this, you know, when duty call, you have to open the eye of the nation. You have to do what you have to do, you know. There are a million things to do, you know.
The truth must not only be the truth, but it must be told. The truth must be told. Otherwise, people now going to know say the truth.
Sure.
If only me and you alone know it, and we not share it with our brothers and sisters.
We have to share it.
We have to share it.
I have to hold them accountable. Because I want to think politicians are like, you know. A matter of fact, me see the big boys, when I big boys, them come out and tell you, say, when you talk to politicians in a secret, them not listen to you. When you talk to them in a public like this now, them start trembling at them in them pants and boots and everything. And that's true. Like exposed.
Even politicians come from Jamaica and say, listen, politicians are trembling now as a result of what going on, you know. They might look over them shoulder. Because now get to the point now where them don't know where we are look at and them can't trust each other because they don't know who to talk to it and what them are provide. And where we are doing at the background and dig up stuff. We have some more stuff, you know. We have some more, but we're not going to release them right now. We have some more stuff that come from out of Hong Kong, you know. We just want them to know that, you know. You see how far we gone. We have some stuff that come from out of Hong Kong. We're going to blow on the mind when we release them. Then we're going to blow on the mind. Because we have people over there. We are work with we are look in a Jamaica and see what going on. And then people are looking at places where you wouldn't even believe. So far, we come up with a whole bunch of things. But you know, I'm going to keep on my mouth.
No, not yet, right?
Yeah, I'm going to keep on my mouth.
Because let me tell you some of the things I do, you know. After me, I leave them in a right. Look here.
In association with Wayne Lonesome and Angie Charity Foundation presents Run Things Fest Day 2 on June the 25th, 2023. Featuring live performance by Jamaican international star Louis Culture, Lucky D, Jigsy King, plus support by Canadian artists Lucky Ross, Steve Knight, Sample King, Mel C, Mr. Blaze, Richie C, Gregory Culture. Admission for this event is $60. VIP $100. Music by Lionheart, Moose Dunn, King Vower, and Freddy Krueger. Hosted by Groovy K. Run Things Fest takes place at 72 Dynamic Drive, Scarborough, Canada. Doors open from 12 p.m. Showtime 4 p.m. sharp. For more information, call 1764-192693 or 647-773-8399 or 647-984-2992. Don't miss it. There is a Run Things promotion. Part proceeds of this event goes to Wayne and Angie's Foundation. So don't miss it. Support it. Chris Goldfinger endorse it.
$60 and don't you holla.
Right there, so, hey, what we done now? Two-day festival.
Alright.
I'm in a place, you know.
Yeah.
The man undercover and the one of them Daniel, them and the one of them, you know, and it, hey, the one of where else, man? The amount of win at the place. Dwight, Dwight Valentine, I'm a tough fuck him near the venue already, so I'm good. See? The whole place, man. People from UK are all about. So, no, I'm a tough fuck when I get to the ticket from early, you know. I'm telling you already, you know, when I get them ticket yet. look up online, get on a ticket, you know good. You're not I was sparring, don't be careful. We there.
Brother.
Yes, nice. Me there, brother.
Yes,
Later.
all right, cool.
Yeah, man.